I'm not sure. Probably nothing, maybe? Sure. Down to learn start. Why? Yes. Sorry. Yes. No, sorry. This is, I don't know. I think I need a new monitor or something. Just got this monitor. It was like $100, so that's probably why I need it. Yeah. It keeps like flashing.
Hey. A fun room? I would have appreciated it. Yeah, it's a good one. Some might say you're a fun guy.
No.
Why we can't have nice things?
This is 100% gold humor, guys. You guys nailed it.
Everyone gets more con. That's it. So this is my favorite part because I'm a glutton for punishment, but it gets all real creepy from here on out. And remember, I do this because I love and I care, not because I'm a sadist.
An interesting discipline we're getting ourselves into.
Yeah. Like honestly, this is my favorite part of this campaign, because they really nail like the macabre scenario.
Good.
And they don't rely on like the, how can I say this without being other people rely on like body horror as like macabre. I think they get that confused because the genres have like slasher movies kind of have ruined that for a lot of like the media, and they rely on like eeriness, which I think is cool. Reminds me of like the Haunted Mansion from Disney World, where you're like, oh, this is creepy, but it's also fun.
You don't. There are two ways to escape. Yep. Yes.
No, guys, in Uno, that's the PvP game of Uno and Snap, guys. Like, those have ruined families.
Here's the thing in Sea of Thieves. Never get anything on your ship. Don't bother getting treasure or gold. Make it seem like it. And so your goal is to try to trick people into chasing you. Waste their time, and then when they kill you, they get nothing, but they've spent an hour following your ship. You just have to change your mindset as to what winning looks like.
Our mics are open, apparently.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Runelord Legacy. I'm your host with the most, your DM, Jared, and we will be playing today, this morning, or this evening, depending on where you're from, Rise of the Runelords, which was Paizo's first large AP that came out many years ago. But the cool thing is, we are converting this for the awesome new Pathfinder 2nd Edition. So, as you can see, I'm joined by my amazing cast and crew. And to tell you about who they will be playing in my version of Rise of the Runelords, I'm going to throw the ball over to the amazing Dawn. How you doing this morning, Dawn?
I'm doing good. Hi, folks. I play Nexon, who's the gnome Stitch Witch. Really, she's wanting to figure out why all these undead are coming up and take care of whoever's responsible.
I am Becca Gotzi. I play Rain R. Alcease, who is absolutely terrified about this. And love letters. I mean, love itself is intimidating and scary all on its own, but let's just add in this extra layer of horror on top of it.
And I'm Carla. I play Cassandra, the halfling bone oracle. And I am just worried about a chicken that was mentioned in our Discord last week. And I just like, guys, chickens and geese, like, it's the poultry. It's the poultry for me.
So what you're saying is it's a poultry concern? Yeah.
No, that's a foul assumption. It's a large concern.
And hi, my name is Michael. I am the very, very, very poor choice for Comedic Gold. This is my channel, and I play Malvolo, who is, of course, a human inventor and general layabout, as well as his puppet Collodi, who is a wisecracking smart mouth who needs to get his mouth sewn shut. I am definitely finding Malvolo is slowly starting to appreciate the world of an adventurer. He has, as of last week, for the first time felt real appreciation, which he hasn't done for like years, you know? So he had a little touching moment when the crowd was like, you know, thanking him for like being part of the people that were saving children. So that was kind of cool. And now we're back in on the road, heading towards a nightmare place filled with a mass murderer. So yeah. I'm fingers crossed. Given the romantic nature of this undead, I'm kind of hoping for like a ghost kind of scenario where Rain is like making pottery and stuff, and that's kind of the kind of undead we're kind of dealing with. Just
Great. I'm glad you feel comfortable telling Rain what her romantic life should look
no,
like.
I'm comfortable with it because then it's not coming after me. You know, it'd be like a case of it's like anyone in the nearby vicinity. It's like she's mine, and then I have to die. If it's just after you, then that's gravy. That's.
But Ghost, there was someone between them. So I feel like the fact that you play two of the party, you've got a higher chance of it being one of your two.
Double my odds. Yeah, Malvolo wakes up one morning, Collodi's head's in his bed. He's like, ah! It's fine.
Thank you very much for that, guys. And so additionally, something that we do here on Michael's, the Dead Aussie Gamers Twitch channel, is there's a way for our community, the chat, to actually interact with us, the players. And it's really cool. A lot of really fun, interesting things have happened because of it. And to tell you about exactly how it works and the rules and the nuances to it, I'm going to throw it back over to Michael so that he can explain it better than I can. Michael?
Yeah, so, of course, here at the Dead Aussie Gamer, we love interacting with you, the audience, and allowing you a chance to take our campaign and our adventure and steer it clear off the rails with a series of donations that will go to supporting starving children. we are someone's children. I mean, all things considered. But yes, to start, of course, we have a $5 reward in which you will offer one of these wonderful individuals a hero point, which you can see as these little wax symbols underneath us. Or alternatively, you can use that $5 to award the GM a hex boon. This hex boon can be used to counteract our hero points and also can afford some bonuses for the bad guys. For $10, you will grant someone one of these dealies, which I can now boop. See, look at that. Oh, look at that. Isn't it shiny? One of these dealies is a sin boon. The sin boons are based on the 7 deadly sins. This is the sin boon of pride. And for each sin boon, the player that has been allocated one can use a magic or supernatural power based on the type of magic associated with that boon. So pride is like illusion. There's a whole bunch of other ones for each of the different sins. So just ask in chat and we'll tell you what they are. But yeah, those are always very, very cool. All right. So lastly, we have, we also have the natural 20, which is given for a $20 donation, where you can just let us have a natural 20 when we need it, because those are so damn useful and have so far, like, been just so helpful. So thank you for everyone who's already given us one. And lastly, for the grand mythic prize of $50, you'll be able to create an NPC, which will recur throughout the series, a magic item, or a nemesis of your choice. Well, that'll go into the campaign and shape us forever. We recently have received 2 of these donations. One is an alchemist friend of ours who we will be meeting up with hopefully when we return to Sandpoint. And we will also be, and we also got a magic item, the bloody shocking blade, which is now attached to Kolodi's arm. So thank you to those people as well. Yeah. And of course, every single donation goes towards reducing our little bar at the bottom of the screen, which is the boss meter. When the boss meter is fully depleted, a TPKable encounter shows up. And we dealt with one of those already. It was a thing. Last time it got used, we had to burn down the building that it was in. So really, yeah, I mean, thank you for the donations. Also, yeah, that happens. And we're about $25 off that last little leg. So there you go. And that's donations. Yay.
Thank you, Michael. I didn't realize we were about $25 off. That's dangerous numbers. I didn't prep that. I apologize. I just became very overwhelmed. And besides that, let me get into the recap, because last week Cassandra wasn't here, and she's been getting hit up all over Discord about the giant chicken. What was it? El Diablo Polo?
El Pollo Diablo.
El Pollo Diablo. Thank you. So, recap from last week. As the party continued adventuring through the town, as Cassandra, Nexon, Rain, and Marvolo had completed the ritual to save the children. The children were saved, and it was an exciting, awesome moment. People, hugged, and joy was given to the town. Everyone was basically hailed as heroes. Everyone, now the town is actually going to probably send much word to Sandpoint and basically yell at Sheriff Baylor that Marvolo is one of the coolest people ever and stop being a jerk to him. With that being said, the party was given rations, whatever they needed that they could get in town, and set out onto the road. As they were traveling onto the road, a little fungus mushroom person, think like Toad from Mario Brothers, showed up, a little leshy, and convinced Rain to follow them into the woods, a little slightly off the road. As they got there, they saw this massive fungal creature kind of being worshipped by all the different toad fungus leashes. Well, it turned into an encounter. They were trying to feed the party to this creature. In that encounter, that's where Kolodi found that amazing blade that helped save the party. They killed this giant fungus creature. The Bastadron was its name. Sorry, it's a tongue twister. Too many syllables. And the moment it died, it withered away. The tentacles that were kind of puppeting the other fungal leashes, left, and the leashes were freed, and were now leading the party away. And that's where we pick up. The leashes show the party to a secret path that takes them, actually cuts your travel fairly quickly, and you're able to make your way back to the road closer to the river that you were looking for, that to the road that will take you up to the manor, Foxglove Manor. The leashes bid you adieu and kind of head off into the woods. They tell Rain to stay on this path, to keep following it so they get to the river. 2 days have now passed, and as you get closer to the river, a cold comes upon, an unseasonable cold, as normally it is early spring, autumn. So it's not supposed to be this cold. A mist kind of hangs in the air all over, and it weirdly doesn't go away with the rise of the sun. It's always just slightly above the floor. And following the path, you come out to a cross section where there's a river. Getting to the river was one of your major goals. You now can follow the river up. It will probably take you another 2 or 3 days on foot, but it will get you to the Foxglove Manor. It is mid-afternoon, well, early afternoon at this point, and you're walking along the river, and you suddenly start to hear a strange echo of a whistle, like someone's whistling, but it's coming closer to the river, deeper down onto the river. The group kind of follows it, heading closer and closer to the sound. And as you get there, there is a small shack kind of coming out from off the shore. It's a small shack. There's like a little dock next to it. Looks a bit run down. There is a barge, a boat, something cobbled together in the water, docked up, and it's just rocking, swaying with the waves. Now the whistling has become louder. The group makes their way up to the small little shanty, and it has moss hanging off of it. Being this close to the river, it's now colder, arguably much colder than it was inland. You get to the shack and you look around. Whistling at this point has kind of stopped, and you can hear just the water, sounds of the water, and the dock creaking, as the water rises and sinks. You can hear that creaking. Looking around the shack, it should be condemned. There's holes in it. There's moss growing on the roof. There's not much happening here. But that mist, it clings to everything. Looking around, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Y'all think maybe we could use this boat to cut down on some time?
I guess so. It looks kind of creepy.
Well, with a few minor upgrades, perhaps it will be quite... I sort of put a little bit of pressure on it as I put my foot to kind of like add some weight. As soon as it's a bit more river-worthy. Can I tell if it will hold our collective weight or not?
As you kind of walk up to the pier and you're like looking around trying to figure out what's going on, you now see a number of cats kind of come walking out and start mewing at everyone's feet. And they look very friendly. Probably like 3-4 little different cats. And inside the little shanty, you now hear a voice go, "Muffins, where'd you go, Muffins? I gotta trim your nails. You're too sharp." And a man comes stumbling out the shack. He's an older gentleman. He has overalls on, big old heavy muddy boots. He's chewing on a corncob pipe. And shocked, he looks at the group. He goes, "What, folks? Hello?"
Hi.
Hail and well met, Mr.
And he's like, hold on a second. And he walks back in. He comes out with what looks like a hammer and a plank. And he walks up to the front of the little shack where there was like a door. And you hear him go, doom, doom, doom. And then he hangs the little plank on it and it says, "Open." It says, "How may I help you? My name's Guy Nell. Folks around here call me Guy. How may I help you, folks?"
Hi, Guy. Is this your boat?
"Oh, yeah, that's Lucy. She's the best boat on the river. Strong as a whistle. Get you anywhere you need to go up and down these rivers."
God, I hope not.
Why is I have to ask, you're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. What in heaven's name would make you open a boat business out here?
Nowhere. No. I'm right near the river. I take this boat up and down, to and fro Magnamar, up and down Sands Point. I get a lot of had a lot of customers. Y'all looking for a ride? I could bust you all down to Magnamar in 2 shakes. 10 silver pieces. That's a deal, let me tell you.
Cassandra, I don't know how to sail.
When you say had, why are you saying had?
Oh, well, since, there was a lot of traffic on these rivers, barges and other things. And, ever since that skinny gentleman came over, he donated a ton of money to me. I bust up all his stuff up the river to that old, what was it? That old house up there on the cliffside. Busted up a ton of stuff over to him. He dropped off a ton of money. He was mighty generous, and I appreciated that. Since then, doesn't seem to be many folks coming up and down this river since then.
What was this? Was it just a lot of boxes, or you didn't peep, did you?
Well, and Guy at this point, Guy now, he leans forward to you and he kind of kneels down to get eye level. And he goes, "Well, Missy, I like to keep, my clients' information private." And then he looks down, pets one of his cats, and he goes, "Well, I keep these cats here and they do need food. So any kind of donations would help."
Well, of course you do. It's client privilege that any client information is only for clients. So if we were to give you some money and a donation, we would then also be clients, and then all other client information is welcome to be shared with clients. And then I'm gonna look askance at the other two, I thought I had it, but maybe I brought it back.
So he looks at you. He goes, "Well, that gentleman he did give me a mighty amount of money to keep quiet. So I'm not too sure you guys," and he looks everyone over, "has that much money for a client and client privileges. Now, are you looking to get a ride to Magnamar? You know, these waters, I don't get too many folks since that. So, you know, whatever happens on the river stays on the river." He kind of winks at you, and winking, you could see, like, you know, he has crow feet, and they all, but like he winks and then his eye doesn't open right away, and then he kind of like pushes it a little bit, and it comes back. He's like, "Oh," and you realize one of his eyes has like a glassy sheen to it, and he might have a fake eye.
Guy with a fake eye.
Guy with a fake eye.
Perhaps maybe a moment to confer with my traveling companions, Mr. Guy.
Sure, take your time. And then he kind of looks around. He goes, "Muffins," and then he grabs a cat, and then he walks back to like the dock, and he sits down and starts to rock on a chair, and you could see him like kind of filing Muffins, paws, because they're sharp.
Okay. I mean, maybe it's just me, but this man seems like 4 cats short of a muffin.
I would take it as a good sign because he takes care of his cat. That's a good thing when people care and love something that has to mean they have some good in their heart.
He's lost an eye.
Maybe for his cat. I would lose an eye for a cat. I mean, I'd prefer not to, but I would.
Did I get a chance to look and see if that dinghy was, it was river-worthy?
You may make a quick, so it's floating, right? So between you and me, it is river-worthy currently. If you want to know more about it, like, how strong maybe, is Rain, because she is a bigger person, like with everyone on it, would we sink?
Whoa, I never said that, okay? Don't be putting words in my mouth, okay? I just want to know if it's good, okay? That's all I said.
I mean, a 7'2" moose person kind of changes the game a little bit.
That's fair.
So what do I need to do? Crafting?
Yeah, craft check, because you're pretty good at that, so. Woo!
It's a little good.
Yeah, just a little bit. So
Yeah.
that is a critical success. And as you look Lucy over, you realize it'll float. It'll actually hold the weight. It's a fairly large kind of like boat. And it could actually hold a lot to it. Don't always judge a book by its cover.
I will judge a boat by its buoyancy, though.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any barnacles growing on it, so he does take care of it. Like, he keeps it clean and such.
Okay.
So it would float.
Okay. The raft seems stable. It looks like it will be able to take us. I don't know about you, but I don't know how to sailboat. I am hesitant, but if this will get us to where we need to go quicker, and I mean, I have the necessary funds to compensate this man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely willing to throw in a little bit to cut down our time, and perhaps while we're on the boat on the river, we can bribe some information out of him, since what stays on the river stays on the river.
And perhaps if he has been delivering things to the manor, he also knows a back entrance or a deliveries space.
As long as we keep him safe, I want to be careful pulling anyone else into this situation, especially if he's bringing the cat with him. I don't want Muffins to get hurt.
Maybe they're like an early warning system.
Muffins is not an alarm.
Okay. Just saying, I thought it might be.
I think
Wondering.
he.
Go ahead.
All right then. I'm glad we somehow had an argument in absolute silence. Like,
Just like,
Uh,
um,
as the group is talking and kind of trying to figure out what's going on, Guy kind of pulls out a flask, takes a big sip out of it, and then looks and makes eye contact with Carla, Cassandra, and he shakes it at you. He's like,
Is it the shake of I need more in this flask, or do you want some of this flask?
Well, he sees the group kind of talking and having their conversation, and he makes like you were the first one to like really kind of talk him up. So he looks at you and he's like, it's more of like, you want a sip? Like, I see you guys talking.
You know what? After the mushrooms, which I have obviously blanked out for my own mental reasons,
Yeah.
I will. Wait, I was gonna say something, and then I saw Rain and Malvolo having their like psychic, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna go over and drink some, and then I'm gonna like gesture to Nixon, like, do you also want to come?
Yeah, Nexon will just kind of like scooch over and like take a sniff of the flask, but not drink out of it.
So it's smelling it. It's fairly strong. Kind of smells like a mix between rum and seawater.
it's grog.
And it's grog. It's
Yep.
more or less grog. And he's like, "Oh, you want some?"
I'm trying to keep a little bit more clear-headed, so I probably shouldn't.
I will take a sip, and then I'm going to look at Nixon, and I'm going to give her a wink, and I'm going to say, "Oh, but I'm sure," and I'm going to sip, and I assume I'm going to like cough and almost die.
It's more seawater than rum at this point.
I'm going to say, "That's good stuff, almost as good as some bloodberry gin," and then I'm gonna see like what his reaction is. Like, can we bribe him with the gin?
Could you bribe him with the gin? Yeah. At the moment you say that, his brow goes up. And he was just like, "You got any of that? Because that's some good stuff. I like that stuff. That stuff. Put hair on your chest."
I'm gonna still be coughing, and I'm gonna look at Nixon like I set it up, but I don't actually know if we're gonna do this.
We do, but it's something we'd only give to a friend or colleague who's willing to be open with us.
So he kind of like
No,
pops up.
Wink.
Yeah, he like yeah. So he like pops up and he like puts his hand on your shoulder and he's like, "I'm a friend. We could be friends. Let's be friends." And then he starts to walk you, like bring you to his like shanty, and he's like, "Come on, come inside. Why don't everyone come outside? It's a mess. Why don't we all come inside? Let's come inside. If you got any of that gin, let's pop that open. We could all have a drink before we go on the boat."
Yeah, we can have a drink and chat about what you've been up to and all that.
Mm-hmm.
We
Exactly.
can
Yeah.
toast to future customers because you'll get more once
Of
this
course.
whole situation is sorted out.
Yeah, this situation. Why don't we have a drink? Come on, let's go. Come on. Y'all two back there. Come on. What's keeping all y'all? Come inside. Come on. Just
Can I hold the
duck a little
kitten?
bit and don't watch out. We got kittens around here somewhere. Just be careful where you step.
Can
They
I
get underfoot.
Can I grab a kitten? Just
Yeah, I mean, they're like, there's cats everywhere. He's like a crazy kook who has he's a crazy cat lady, but
I'm
you
gonna
know.
try to pick up as many as possible.
So as Rain's like making her way back towards the like this little cottage shanty thing, she like you've now collected like 6 cats. You now have like 6 cats hanging out in your arms. They're like mewing.
Setting them in different places. One of my antlers, a couple on my shoulders.
Yeah.
Around.
You have a whole mess of cats. He's like, oh, they seem to like y'all. Why don't you come inside? Come inside. Get out the cold. Get out the cold. It's weird. It's been cold like this quite some time now. I don't know what's going on. Come inside. Let me put a fire on. And then as you go inside, it is. Allow me to paint this picture. If anyone's ever seen Sam Raimi's, Evil Dead, the cabin, when you go inside and it's all old and it's dusty and there's cobwebs, he clearly doesn't take care of this. There is a chair and a table and a pot-belly stove that is not on, and it is just damp in here. Coming inside, there are cats. There's a lot of like plates on the floor, and all the plates have half-eaten food, fish. It smells very fishy in here for some reason. Like it was definitely you buy water and like you get that ocean smell. In here is worse. It smells like you walked inside of a whale or something. So when you come inside, he like looks around. He goes, I ain't got a lot of chairs, but we don't need chairs. We don't need chairs to toast. And he's like trying to clean the table up to allow for. He's like, why don't you bring out that gin? Bring it on out here, girls.
I'll look at Nixon and the rest, and I'll take it out. But using my skills from the Rusty Dragon, I will like maintain a firm grip on this bottle. Like no one's taking this bottle from us. But it still looks casual. It still looks like casual. Not like I don't trust him, but I don't.
No. And he goes, oh well. He's like, let me get some glasses, and you could kind of see him like moving around, picking up like glasses off the floor. One of them he just tosses like out the window. Might have been old milk, and he's cleaning it with his shirt. And he's like, oh, that'll work for you. And picks up another glass, and it has like a few like fish bones in it, and he dumps that out, and he's like, here you go, and he gives that one to Marvolo. And then he picks up a glass, and he's like, what are you doing in there? And he pulls out a kitten, and then he gives that one to Rain, the kitten and the glass. And
Nexon's just gonna kind of like lean over and kind of try and like behind his back just prestidigitate each of the glasses. Especially it's first for Malvolo. Just to clean it. Just be like, clean.
Thank you.
So you quickly, prestidigitate all the glasses, and they're nice and clean. And he's like, well, pop that stuff open then. He's looking at Cassandra. He's like, come on. He's like, I'm sorry, I am a mess. Allow me to I didn't get everyone's name. What's everyone's name?
My name's Nexon.
Nexon, okay.
I'm Cassandra.
Cassandra, gotcha.
And I am Malvolo.
Malvolo, the man in the mask. Got it.
And I'm Collodi. How you doing?
And he like looks around, because the last we saw of Collodi had gotten blown up a few times fighting that Mastodon.
So he's currently like a partially constructed. He's got like a torso with like 2 very tiny little sticky arms, and he's kind of just been like sort of functioning as like a backpack for Malvolo, as Malvolo's been slowly kind of, building his body again.
So it's Chewbacca and C-3PO.
Yeah. So Malvolo will kind of turn slightly, and he'll be like, "How's it going?"
He's like, sir, your backpack's taut. You know what? It's okay. Don't worry about how you doing today. Let's Let's toast. Come on, girl, Cassandra. Why don't you open that up? Let's get a drink on.
Well, as Nixon said, we were looking to save this for a special occasion
Special
to enjoy
occasion.
with our friends. And we are actually having a special occasion. We are going on a journey.
Okay.
To
Magnemar. Yeah. Down the river. That's where guys want to go. Is to the city of Magnemar.
Oh.
Well, actually, Nixon.
Yeah, we're not going quite to Magnemar. We're looking at going to Foxglove Manor.
Foxglove Manor. Why y'all want to go up there? He's having a party. He did ship up a lot of stuff that tall, skinny gentleman.
Malvolo will pipe up. Collodi sort of leans in and sort of whispers to Malvolo. Malvolo's like, no, I want you. No, just do it. No, please. Well, you see, our friend was right. We are celebrating something of great importance. And Malvolo looks at Cassandra and looks at her hand, and you see like this sweat starting to drip down his face as he reaches down and he touches her hand, but only like the index finger. You see, we're celebrating our anniversary, and Foxglove Manor was where I proposed to my darling Cassandra, and we were hoping to try and get there as soon as possible. You see, I proposed at sunset, and if we could get there before then, this gin would be the least we could give for you to make our special day amazing and special. I hate
amazing,
you,
special.
I hate you so much. You see, meanwhile on the backpack, there's just this.
Kaz has loosened her grip slightly on the bottle, and she says, we are, and then she's gonna take her hand away, and she's gonna pretend to do like a little boop, but I'm not gonna actually touch your mask, but I'm gonna be like, we are.
Malvolo doesn't notice. He's like very quietly like rubbing his hands, like.
And then I'm gonna like sidle. If Nixon was standing between us, I'm gonna like casually stand next to Malvolo, but like very like school picture stand next to someone.
Yeah, you know, like come on, get closer. It's like, you know. No, thank you.
And I'm gonna say, and to celebrate our anniversary, we just, you know, if you were shipping a lot of things up there, you know, Aldous is our friend, and you know, I love surprises, but I hate surprises, so I just would love to know what's in the boxes so I can prepare myself. And Malvolo does the most amazing surprise face. And then I'm going to look at him and I'm going to be like, because you were acting all weird about touching my finger and we're friends, I'm going to be like this. Show him your surprise face, Malvolo.
Malvolo looks at Cassandra. There's just this slow turn. If ever there was like a serial killer in Malvolo, it just sort of... Of course. My dear, why would I not? And he reaches behind him, and you hear this clunk as he rips off Collodi's head, and you just... And then Collodi's head sort of... Ta-da! My surprise face.
And then I'm going to say, and that's why you need to tell us, because he needs to practice. It's like, and I'm going to be like slowly unscrewing the top, like.
As Cassandra, so at this point, Guy is just like looking at this and is like befuddled, right? And as you're unscrewing the top of the gin, and he could see you now like unscrewing it, getting it ready, and he like lunges forward towards you with his glass, and he's like, well, don't let me get in the way of any kind of this love here going on, so why don't you pour me a glass, and we'll get you newlyweds up to the manor in 2 shakes.
Yeah, I'll pour him like like when like a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. He like knocks it back, and then he holds it out, and he was like, well, you know what they say, well, I didn't even I forgot, I didn't even get to toast with everyone, and he kind of puts the glass back out looking for a little bit more.
Yeah, I'll put a little bit in everyone's glass, and then him last, because I don't want him to be like, you didn't fill mine.
Yeah,
I know these tricks of these bar patrons. I know their tricks.
So as you finally pour his, he looks around. He goes, well, to Marvolo and Cassandra's wedding, and he kind of like holds his glass up, and he like clinks with everyone, and he takes it. He's like, oh, that is mighty fine. There it is. Yeah. So like I said, it's 15 silver pieces to go up down to Magnamar, and since you're my friends, I'll lower it down to 10 silver pieces, so it's not a problem. Why don't we could start out now, and if we're trying to reach there by sunset, I'll try and get you there. So why don't we get going? And he looks around, he was like, oh shoot, I don't think I have any life preservers right here. Y'all can swim, right? Everyone's fine. Don't worry about it. Why don't we get on the board? Lucy's a fine vessel. You don't gotta worry about it. It only happened that one time. And whatever they tell you, it wasn't my fault. That little boy should not have been playing on the side of the boat.
We get to bring the kittens, right?
No, kittens don't swim. We take Muffins, though. She's good. She sees things I don't see. And then he taps. So he has one eye that's kind of like foggy, and it looks like a bad glass eye. And then he has like his good eye. And he goes, don't worry, my good eye. And he points to the foggy one. And he's like, my good eye, I see things, but Muffins over there, she's a good warning system. She sees things I don't see. And he like picks up Muffins, and it's like kind of a heavier cat. It's like a little bit more rotund. And then it's it's like chunky cat. And its legs just go straight and like a limp as he carries Muffins out. He's like, come on, y'all, let's go. Don't forget that bottle, though. Don't forget that bottle. Why don't we all get going? Don't worry about it. Like I said, that little boy, he fell off. We got him real quick. He learned the lesson, though.
Raina's going to take each kitten off and like give it a little kiss on its head before she sets each and every single one down. Take care. Be safe. Don't eat bad things.
Marvolo, as he leaves, sort of walks over to Cassandra, sort of glares at her through the mask, and then sort of turns to leave and hands his glass to Collodi. Collodi sort of takes it from Marvolo and then goes with like a huge smile, hands it to Cassandra.
Cass will drink it, and I'll be like, don't worry, I'll boop you later. And then I say it loud so he hears, and I'll be like,
Marvolo bumps into the door frame like as he's walking out.
Yeah, you picked the wrong person in the party for this room.
That was silly. As you all get to the raft, and you climb on, and you step onto, you're walking onto the dock out to the raft. As you're going, every step is very uneasy. You're a few boards, even before you reach them, just kind of fall in, and he's like, watch out there, don't step in the hole.
What happened to my crafting check? What happened to reliable, stable thing? What happened to that?
The boat is reliable. The dock, though.
Is this like it can float the same way like ducks float? You know what I mean? Like It's like, it floats, it'll be fine. God damn it.
Yeah, but when the water gets rough, ducks can fly out of it.
Well, if you get wild shape, you could too.
Oh, good, thanks.
That's okay. I'm gonna very quickly because as we're sailing, I would like to continue to work on Malvolo, and as I do so, I'm gonna try and add like a life preserver in him. Like so, if I hit him, he just sort of like
Yeah.
like a leather bladder or something, just like fills with air and just grab on.
So making your way onto the raft, guy kind of moves to the back. You can hear him messing around with some stuff, and he sets down the good old Muffins, and Muffins kind of climbs up onto like a little bed. He's kind of made for Muffins. It stands kind of near the steering wheel, and guy kind of unties the ropes, and one of the ropes he's like struggling with the knot, and then he just pulls a knife out and cuts the rope, and he's like, "Don't worry, y'all, we got this. We're gonna get off going. Don't worry." And then he takes out a long pole that was sitting next to him and pushes the raft out into the water. At this point,
Brain's going to lean over to Nexon. I am very worried.
I think that is the right feeling.
Is there something I can hold on to that seems secure in this raft boat thingy?
Yeah, you could grab onto the edge. There's not much up here. The
Maybe
front of it,
on the center of the boat, near the edge of it.
you could like kind of go up to. So the front of the boat is very large and more or less flat, and that's where you would put all the boxes and stuff if you was carrying stuff. And then towards the back of the boat, there's like stairs that go up, and it's like a second floor, and that is where he's at when he's driving the boat. Steering the boat, not driving it. I know nautical terms, and he that's where he is most of the time, and Muffins is up there with him. That larger platform, you can kind of go in, and there's like a table and a chair and a lantern inside, and it has like food stores. And again, as you go inside and you look around, you'll see that there's like a lot of salted fish, just a lot of it.
Nexon's just gonna kind of
wandering
stick
around
next
and
to
opening
Rain
things.
a lot.
That's a good plan. Stick next to the druid in case anything happens.
And I turn into a duck and fly away.
No.
I'll go sit maybe on the steps so that I can like hold the railing, and still be close enough to try and pry that information from
Of
the
course.
guy while
Yeah.
we're traveling. Yeah.
So as he kind of pushes off and he runs back up and starts to and the boat starts to go, it's going at this point. He's going, and he looks and he goes, and he kind of swears a little bit, and he's like, don't worry. You guys were out for like 15 minutes, and then he starts to like swear a little bit, and you could see him like turning the wheel, and then and if anyone's inside, there's like a little window you could see out of. It's not like glass; it's just like a hole cut out, and you could see him running back and forth on the front of the boat, pushing, and then like he's making a U-turn more or less, and he was definitely going the wrong way.
How do you go
And he's
the
like,
wrong
"Don't
way?
worry."
How do you go the wrong way on a river?
Oh, he got a little turned around.
There are two ways to go, and he got it wrong.
Yeah, he went upriver for whatever reason.
There's only two options.
On the plus side, we'll technically go past the kittens again.
Yes.
That
Wave
idea
to-
really okay. Rain realizes that she's gonna rush out so she can wave at the kittens one more time.
Nexon's just like following Rain around, like always staying within arm's reach. He's kind of like, well, if we go down, maybe Rain, I can like float on Rain.
You're gonna hop on my hammers.
So Malvolo, having kind of built Collodi's frame and stuff like that, is working on the rest of his body. Meanwhile, Collodi's kind of gonna walk up to Cassandra. Hey Cass, are we trying to get Sailor Dan here to give us some information?
Yes, but we're also trying to do it in a way that if we need to come back down up the river, he's not going to hate us and be traumatized. I remember what you did to the goblin.
Well, that was not. Look, it got results, okay? And now look at him. He's turned his whole life around. But I do have something that might be able to work. No demon, I promise.
I'm going to look at him and I'm going to say, and I'm going to whisper, I'm going to say, does it involve another wedding? Because
that was
no demons or weddings.
Look, that was me. That was hilarious, though. That was really funny. Did you see the look on Malvolo's face?
Okay. No demons or weddings.
Okay.
Or demon weddings.
No demons.
Or
No
wedding
weddings.
demons.
No wedding demons. Okay. Yeah. No, you got my word on this. Okay.
Okay.
But I am gonna need something. Hey Nexon.
Yeah, and she's just kind of like still like I imagine just kind of holding on to Rain's like pant leg or something like that.
You still got your sewing kit on you?
Well, of course.
Collodi is going to sneak over and sort of start whispering things over to Nexon, which I am going to send to Dawn.
All right.
Ooh, secret things.
Secrets.
It's a wedding dress. I know it is.
It's totally a wedding dress.
Here are Malvolo's dimensions for a tux.
Yeah, that nothing makes horror more creepy than like someone in a wedding dress. It's very like Mrs. Havisham's attic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nexon's gonna kind of like go through her like bag of stuff and pull out something that like some like purple fabric and just kind of very quickly tie it kind of in like a toga type like dress where it's not really like so fully sewn, but it's something you can kind of throw over and like just kind of hand it over to Collodi.
Collodi sort of wraps it up in a bundle and says, okay, be right back. About 2, maybe 3 minutes later, there'll be like a knock on the door of the captain's quarters.
Are we in there? I can't remember
Yeah.
where.
Yeah. So
or is the food?
it's,
Okay.
Yep.
The captain keeps all the food with him.
Oh,
Smart.
yeah.
Smart. That's what I would do too. Yeah? Do you want some dried fish or something?
In will walk. Collodi's form is.
Open the door and I'm gonna close the door again.
Just before he even says it. Wait, no, I can explain.
Why,
She's gonna
why
open the
did
door
I-
just halfway
Why did I
and
help
just
him?
glare. What did you do? Huh?
Okay, listen, okay? Cassandra said we need to get information from the captain, right? And the captain, now he is blind drunk. Now, I reckon that if anyone is gonna, bring that man some alcohol, schmooze him up, okay? I think I have the feminine wiles to be able to pull this off. I mean, look at these gams.
Rain's gonna close the door again and just lean against it. And,
Wait,
Nexon?
no.
Was this your idea?
It was. I may have enabled it, but it was not my idea.
Okay.
Don't wig shame me.
We're gonna open the door again. I guess it's a good idea. Fine. Go with it. Do not make anyone uncomfortable. Okay?
Don't worry. Don't worry. I am a classy act. He then sort of corrects his non-existent bosoms as he grabs a what kind of alcohol is lying around? I imagine just bottles of this grog stuff.
Yeah, it's more or less just the terrible grog stuff that's laying around.
Yeah, he'll grab hold of one of them and he'll walk to the to where Guy is steering.
Oh,
I have to
Cassandra's
be,
gonna laugh and then cough. See.
Meanwhile, Malvolo's on the front of the ship with no idea what's going on, slowly working on the rest of Collodi's armor. There's just this tingle down the back of his spine, and he's like, something's wrong. Something awful's about to happen.
sense of disturbance in the force.
Yeah. Mr. Guy.
I have to be very honest right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if this deserves a hero point or taking away hero points.
Lose a level.
Yeah, like I'm not sure. It's a great plan. Let's see how it goes.
All right.
Hold on a second. Okay, I'm there. I'm with you. I got wait here.
You got it?
I got it. I'm there.
Yeah.
So, calling Guy. Guy kind of like looks over at the stairs and he sees Collodi kind of coming up, and he looks and he's like, looks left and right and he's like, "Ma'am?"
Says, no, I saw that you were working so hard, and I thought maybe you were in need of a bit of a refreshment. And they're gonna hold out the grog.
And he walks forward and he's like, "Well, yeah, thank you very much." And he grabs it from your hand. He's like, and he takes a big swig. He goes, do you know if they got any more of that gin down there with them?"
Oh well, I definitely think they got more of that. But for now, I think the company should make the alcohol taste much better. Don't you think? Oh, and he's gonna sort of slip on the ship, as it's sort of rocking, and go, "Oops, clumsy me," as he sort of falls over and sort of grabs onto his arm, and he's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
your muscles, they're so big. You must work out."
He's like, "Well, I have to do my best out here with being the only one out here. I gotta keep my business afloat. You get that? That's some boat humor right there. Keep everything afloat."
Must be very lonely out here on the old barge there.
It is. But I got muffins over there, muffins, and the cat kind of like looks up and then does that long cat blink and then puts its head back down.
But I imagine that all your days sailing these seas aboard this big vessel of yours, you must have seen some pretty interesting things.
Oh yeah, I did. I have totally seen some crazy things. One time I was out here and I was moving some goods for a local merchant down in Magnamar, and I could have sworn it must have been maybe 2 boat long. Looked like a giant catfish, stuck its head out and would spray this hot water everywhere.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and so I'm driving my boat, I'm steering it, and I'm like, I'm gonna hit this beastie and take it out. And it's gonna be good eats. And as I'm driving, there's this screeching sound, and this large winged creature kind of came down and grabbed this catfish out the water and just flew off with it. It was crazy.
Oh, you were so brave.
I was the bravest. Let me tell you something. And he starts to drink a little bit more.
As he's drinking, Collodi's very carefully tipping the end of the bottle just a little bit higher as he does so. He says, and I bet there's some really nice and expensive things that you've transported up and down this river.
Oh yeah, let me tell you something. One of the barges I was pushing along, we were moving. Was it like 3 or 4 boxes, big boxes, not like a little box, like big crate box full of TN silks. It was beautiful. They were beautiful. It was super expensive, very expensive. Let me tell you what.
I've never had TN silk or worn it before.
Oh,
I do love a man who's independent. And he sort of leans in a little bit forward and he says, "But I bet you've also transported stuff for people who are really impressive. I heard that there's this Mr. Foxglove fellow, very rich and well-to-do individual, say that he only transports the special stuff with the most capable of riverfarers."
well, I'm the most capable here, don't you know? And he kind of finishes at this point. So it was a large bottle of this grog, and at this point he's now like swigged it back, and he looks at it, he goes,
just
and he
before
puts down
just before he does, Kalodi's gonna snatch it out of his hands, the last few drops of it, and he says, "Oh, stop! No, you haven't worked for Mr. Foxglove. I mean, flying birds and all that. I believe that, but there's no way that Mr. Foxglove hired you. Not in a million years."
Oh, yes, he has. Let me tell you, I just worked with him fairly recently, maybe a month or so ago.
No,
I was bringing up stuff
it.
for him.
Really? I mean,
Yeah.
I find that. I mean, you're very capable, of course, but I find that so hard to believe.
Let me tell you something. There's no one else on these rivers. Let me tell you. There's no one else on these rivers.
I mean,
better than I.
I mean, what would Mr. Foxglove even want transported down these rivers?
Well, that's the thing. At first, I thought he was bringing up tools to fix up the manor again, because it has been run down for many a year now. And we were bringing up boxes, and one of the boxes did slip. Let me tell you, he had these folk. They, mind you, I live by the water. I smell a lot of different things. You ever clean a fish without the right tools? You got guts everywhere on your hand. You smell like fish for many a days. But these folk, they stank something fierce. They must not have taken a bath for many a days. And so they got the stuff on the boat. And now here's the weird thing. One of the boxes they were carrying dropped and dirt came out. Lots of dirt. It was weird. I must assume they were maybe planting gardens and they were trying to, bring the trees back, because the trees out that way, the land, it seems to be dying. It's weird that nothing really grows out that way anymore. It used to be beautiful. My mom used to tell me stories, and these beautiful, beautiful trees that they would blossom, pink blossoms. But now the land, it just doesn't do that anymore. So I thought they were maybe bringing in new soil, for the land, so that they could plant new flowers and stuff. And also it's a bit craggy up there. And I heard rumor that there's salt. There's a lot of salt up there that got pushed up with the land. And, I'm maybe, they were going to mix it with the salt. Now I'm no magicians, those guys who use the magicists. I don't do that stuff. So maybe it was some kind of magic. But yeah, it was weird. It was just full of dirt. One of those boxes just full of dirt. I don't know. It was weird. But never tell you, he gave me so much money, and then he kind of reaches out and grabs the bottle from Kalodi real quick. He just whap real fast, and he finishes it. And he goes, he paid me a lot after that. A lot of money not to really, now where am I going to retire to? The sea is my woman,
And the lucky woman she is at that. And, Kalodi will sort of swish his wig, and his hips will sway as he sort of says, if ever you feel lonely with only the sea and your cats for company. And then he slams the door on him.
Oh.
He adjusts his dress once more, the fake boobies, and he says, and that's how you get information. And he walks, and he sort of, one hand on hip, he saunters away from Cassandra. Yeah!
Kaz is just going to look at him and be like, and that is how you get information. And then she's going to go back to the thoughts at hand of why is he transporting Earth?
Yes, there's also that. Just why is another question, but we know that he's transporting dirt and earth.
Yeah.
Malvolio sort of raises a torso. He's like, done, finally. And then Kaludi walks past him. He's just like, you just hear this scream from the front of the ship. That's all.
As you're on the boat, right, and at this point it is now dipping later into the evening, like that weird twilight right before sundown, as he had promised. You can now hear the captain kind of yelling, and he's like, folks, can you please come out here real quick? And as you kind of come outside, now there's a heavy fog on the land, and it's again very strange. He kind of points up and he's like, now this is the damnedest thing. I don't know how much further I could go with this heavy fog on the water. I could try to traverse, and I know these waters is not a problem. Now the problem is, as we've been going, I haven't really said anything, trying to keep, and he looks at Cassandra, and he kind of shakes his glass, and this is a different shake other than the original shake. It's the "can I get more liquor from you" shake. And he goes, well, I would be more inclined to get us past if I had a little bit more emphasis in my boots to push us past this. And he's like shaking his flask at you, Cassandra.
We'll hold on here. Maybe I can help. Can I try casting Gust of Wind?
Yes.
Like,
So as rain, you kind of summon this into your body, summon the elemental forces of air. You start to like push, and you can feel it flowing from you, and you push the air out around you, and you're now parting the fog. And as it parts and settles, you could see it's trying to like pull back together, as if there is a mind controlling this fog, as if something is pulling it together, making it want to be. It's a very strange effect, and being everyone here has seen fog, right? So it's not, but Rain, you're like, no, this is not natural. This is something else is here. And as you're doing this, you kind of get goosebumps that run up your spine, or moose bumps at this point, and you can feel as you reach out, you can feel as if you're pushing against an invisible wall, as if there is a force out there in the water and it's pushing back against you.
I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't think I can keep this fog clear for much longer. She starts trembling of sorts. She's using her hands as an extension to help keep that push of wind out, but she's trembling. Her hands are shaking. It's unsteady. I don't think I can. I don't want to stay out here much longer.
Is the
Cassandra.
Oh, sorry. I was just real quick. Is the fog in the on either side of the bank as well, or is it like isolated on the river?
It is coming off of the land and going on to the river. Okay. Can I also? I apologize. Nexon, Cassandra, and Marvolo, may I have perception checks?
Skills.
23.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah. Lame.
As Rain pushes and forces this wind out of her body, and she fights against this energy, you are like all looking around, trying to see like how this is happening, like maybe something's out there. And every so often you'll see, looks like some figures kind of walking along the shoreline in the mist, though, shadowy figures, and they seem to be following the boat. And then they'll step maybe behind a tree and disappear from sight. But you can't, it's like a shadow. Like, imagine if shadows were now walking and following the boat. It's not a lot, right? Like, it's not like hundreds of these things, or even, you know, maybe one or two. Slight, you know, some every so often you'll see something out the corner of your eye. It looks like someone's peeking out from behind the tree, and then it ducks back in.
As long as they're not giggling.
And now they're all giggling. No,
Damn it!
Well, I think we've got some company over there, and she'll pull out the piece of string that she always uses and do the cat's cradle, and I will cast Detect Magic and see.
Malfola will grab Cassandra. Cassandra! I just want to point at the spooky things.
As you cast, so two things happen at this point. Nexon, as you cast Detect Magic, you ping. You know that it's like more of like a sonar, so you get that energy. You could feel it, and it feels cold. It's not that like the normal cold, but it's now cold, almost otherworldly, something from beyond the it's the feeling you get when you look up at the sky at night into the void of space, and you feel as if you are nothingness, and that is the energy you get. It is a nothingness. It is a void of energy and life. And the second thing, the boat hits something hard and rakes to the left. At this point, Muffins is now mewing, just meow. And he goes, I know, I missed it. Dang, I'm sorry, Muffins. Damn. And he kind of runs to the front where Rain is controlling the wind and pushing, and the fog is trying to come back in. And he reaches down and he hits something, and it's like a rock, and he's pushing off the rocks. And then the boat kind of retches to the left and kind of unsteadies everyone. And you push past this rock, and you can hear it scraping on the side of the boat. And then, bang, you hit another rock, and then he pushes it again. And he's like, he's like, what? This is mighty weird. These rocks haven't been here. And he looks down, and he puts the pole down into the water, and he starts to pull it back up. He pulls, pushing. And he looks, and he goes, the water's very low.
What?
He goes, something's damming up the water. This flows in from the ocean out there. Maybe they're beavers. I mean, they might be putting up dams now, but I don't know. And he looks around into the mist onto the land. He goes, well, and he pushes the boat back. He's pushing off these rocks. He's like, somehow I must have gotten too close to the shore, but that's not possible. I got turned around. He goes, maybe I did get turned around. I don't know.
What do you
and he
mean we got turned around? Rivers don't just dry up this quickly. Even a beaver, as fast as they could build it, there's no way they'd be able to build something this quick that would stop up the water from what it is right now. What is going on? You're captain. I don't know why we've stopped.
He's like, well, first off, somehow I got too close to the shore, which is possible. Secondly, it looks like maybe something up there is dammed up the river. It is a good chance that maybe they put up at the manor. They might be bringing in from other ships and hoisting things up off the coast. They might need to dam up the river a little bit to allow these boats to make dock like that. That is possible up that way. Now, I'm not too sure. I haven't been up that way in over a month now. I apologize. And then he's pushing, trying to maneuver with the stick. He pushes off a rock and he runs to the other side with this long long pole, and he's pushing off another rock, and he's, as he walks past you, he's like, I'm not sure what's going on here, but allow me to dock on the shoreline, and we can figure this out. I don't want to push too much forward because we might hit a rock or something, and then that'd be a bigger problem. Then I'd have to patch up the boat. I don't want that to happen. So allow me to just pull over here. I'll anchor offshore, and then we can figure out what we're gonna do from here, this point out.
Were the shadows on one side of the shore?
So you're really kind of just close at this point. You realize what he's saying is true. You've gotten closer to the shoreline, and every so often they would just pop up. It's not like there are tons of them and stuff like that. So yeah, every so often.
Might we be able to pull up to the other shore side?
I mean,
I
wouldn't want to.
Don't feel great.
I can. That's not a problem. You see, the problem is if I pull up on that side of the river, it's not going to get you to the manor. It's gonna so, and he's trying to explain. He's like, so the manor's on this side. If it's up that way, and then he's looking around, and he's like, so I know we're not too far out. We're maybe an hour by foot, hour and a half by foot. So you could definitely make your way on foot up that way. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. Now you see, if I pull up on the other side of the shore, it splits, right? So all of a sudden you'd be on one side, and then you would have to get a boat from that side of the river to go across to the other side, and that's just much more of a problem, you see. So I understand what you're saying. You're concerned. You think maybe that side might be a little better. Also, looks like the rocks, since the water's come so low, I kind of want to stay centered here, to avoid this issue.
I hate to say it, but I think the only way forward is maybe continuing on foot. We don't want to risk this man and his delightful ship running aground. If it's only an hour away, maybe we could outrun these things, or maybe they don't like light or something.
Wait, outrun what things? What things are you
Yes.
seeing?
What things?
There's something that's kind of been following us, and I don't. It feels real, just kind of like lots of existential dread.
Yes, the living embodiment of fear and death in the fog, chasing us.
Okay. I'm just gonna focus on my wind spell again. And I'm just going to let you guys decide, and I will follow you. But until then, I'm gonna be in this little space.
But
She's gonna create like a nice little circle of wind just around our boat, like just focusing. She's gonna cross her legs, sit on the ground, and just and every time like she exhales, that wind just picks up a little bit faster.
Mm-hmm.
Nexon's gonna pull Nyx out and just kind of look up at Rain and be like, do you mind? He can get a better vantage point, like up on your shoulder.
No, of course. She'll stand back up.
And I'll have Nyx kind of scare up to her shoulder and just kind of tell him to like do his little alarm dance if he sees anything.
Mm-hmm. I like that. He just dances a little bit with his arms in the air. So as you're kind of figuring it out, as Rain is centering herself, and he's now Guy has like pushed the boat to a safe position, and he's now dropping anchor. The boat comes to a stop, and it's just rocking on this water. The fog, as Rain is doing her best, the fog is still rolling off the shore and coming in and surrounding the water.
Rain, how long can you maintain this wind?
This is not really something I can keep up for very long. Really, this is taking way more effort than it should. This was more supposed to be like a one-time But my energy and anxiety is really out the roof right now, so you're very lucky.
Okay. Well, if it's any problem, remember we're in nature. This is the wild. This is the natural world.
This is not natural. This fog is not natural. If this were a normal fog, it would be a and I'd be gone. And I can deal with the naturalness of world. This part is an unnatural. Using the natural. That fog, that's not real. This water, that's not. Those aren't beavers doing that.
Maybe. I mean, we're here for a reason, so. You know, I feel like we've been put here to, we're prepared and can deal with all this. Life wouldn't throw something at us that we weren't ready to deal with.
Right.
And, you know, if there is something there, the longer we wait on the boat, the more time they have to make a plan.
Sorry.
We should probably move really quickly.
As you guys are all talking, Guy kind of walks over to Marvolo, and he's like, "Sir, I apologize. I thought I could get you up there faster than this, but I'm very sorry." And he reaches into his pouch and he pulls out some salted fish, and he's like, "Please, take this as my apology. I didn't mean to ruin your and your lovely wife's celebration. Now, I would suggest maybe disembarking. I could pull up some boards and make sure you guys get to the shore safe and as dry as possible. I'll stay here. How long do you guys will think you'll be? Maybe a day? Like you might camp up that way and then come down in a day or so? I'll stay here for a day if you need me to."
That would be most exemplary, but your fish are not necessary, but thank you.
Don't take the fish. Chewing on something salty sounds really good right now.
Thank you for the fish. Kalodi will grab them and hand them to Rain.
Thank you.
And
Kalodi has changed into his adventuring attire, so just so that we're...
Oh, that makes me sad. I had a whole thing for that.
Yes, no. The mysterious maiden will forever live in this sailor's dreams.
Ah.
What became of her? Who was she?
That's a whole side mission now.
Yeah, exactly. Will she ever return? If this guy ever becomes an adventurer, that's his quest.
Mm-hmm. As Rain kind of, at this point, Rain, you start to drop your gust, your energy, and allow your body to recuperate and to refill. You kind of take one of those salted fish and you start to nom on it, and it's actually fairly good. It's like a herring, so it's not terrible. Nyx sitting on your shoulder hasn't really done anything, Nexon. There's no quick dance. Guy has laid down some planks and allowed the party to disembark and make their way onto the shore. Moving onto the shore, you kind of walk through this fog and it swirls up around your knees or your ankles, depending on how tall you are. And Guy looks at everyone. He says, "Well, have a safe day, y'all. Don't worry about me. I'll stay here for as long as possible and try and get back. So what, one day? One day is good? I'll stay here for a day."
Yeah, we appreciate it so much. And Nexon will kind of, as she's leaving, hand him over the 10 silver.
And he's like, "Thank you very much, ma'am." And he puts it into his pocket. And he says, I'll stay here for a day. Don't worry about it. Y'all be safe out there and enjoy your wedding day."
And keep muffins inside.
Of course. Don't worry about it.
So,
Kaz
I mean,
will turn and say, our wedding, we will enjoy our wedding day. And then seeing Malvolo acting very scared, she was going to go boop, and then she realizes he was scared and she's not going to boop him.
Malvolo will actually, because he is so scared, will reach down and actually take Cassandra's hand.
Okay, so I was gonna reach out and be like boop and and then he grabbed my hand and then I just reverse my finger back down like okay, we're not gonna like make this worse. And then I'll hold his hand and I'll start walking in front.
Yay! The wizard has gone to the oracle for safety.
Yep.
Wait, I'm not a wizard. I'm an inventor. I should know my class. I feel like we've been playing long enough. I should know.
At this point, the party kind of starts to move deeper away from the shore, staying, in that in between where the trees and the shore kind of start to meet, using that as your path forward, avoiding the darkness. And again, every so often, Rain, now you're starting to see them, shadows just peeking out from behind a tree. There is an eerie silence on these woods. You're walking forward and the fog's still thick. As you pass through it, it fills back up. So you walk, and instead of parting it, it just starts to fill back up every time you walk past the woods, through the fog. Now the shore starts to dry up and you start to feel the incline heading up towards the cliffside. You can now hear what sounds like thunder off into the distance. And that's where we'll stop for our mid-break. I hope everyone is having fun. I'm having a blast, and I appreciate everyone being here. If you like the little miniatures that you're seeing on screen, the stuff that like Guy popped up and our little miniatures, it's due to our sponsors, Hero Forge, and they are amazing. And thank you very much to Hero Forge for sponsoring us for this. So we'll come back in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. We're just going to take a quick break, use restroom, grab some more water, and yeah, stick around. Thank you very much. Hi, welcome back from that. And thank you for sticking around. I want to say thank you very much to everyone watching us at this time. We are doing it. Michael, did we get any raids?
No,
we did.
not this time. This time's been a quiet night. Bit of quiet.
Sure, awesome.
But we still love all the people here in chat who are,
of
course, here enjoying this wonderful show with these wonderful people. Which, of course, is thanks to our wonderful sponsors, Hero Forge, for all these lovely little things, and Sirenscape for these sweet tunes that you are hearing in the background, these sensualnesses for the ears. Yes, thank you for those guys.
Yes, thank you very much. Without them, it would be very dark here because we wouldn't have the money to keep our lights on.
True.
And don't forget, if you're in the chat and you really want to do something crazy, we are $25 away from a boss battle. And now would be an awesome time because
why would you say that?
We are creepily the party is making their way through a very eerie forest. The fog isn't a fog, it's something else. There are shadows in the woods peeking out, staring at the party. They've made their way up an hour-long trek on the coast, and at the very last bit they had to move now on and into the forest because it's an incline. They are now making their way to the bluffs that house the long forgotten, desiccated Foxglove Manor. The party, we pick up on the party finding an old road, Rain having used her natural abilities of living in the woods and traveling, finding a dirt road, well, an overgrown dirt path that they could follow. This was probably used by the family when they would hold the large balls and festivals up at the manor, but it hasn't been used in years. Following it, at this point, everyone's now seen those shadows. They follow them slightly. Turning around, you'll see something from the corner of your eye just peek back behind a tree. You'll hear a rustling and look up and see a figure just standing there. And as you take a second to let your eyes adjust, it dissipates into the fog. Everyone's kind of huddled together and become one giant Scooby-Doo ball of party moving up this road. As you make... Oh, I'm sorry, Cassandra. Please go.
No, I don't know. No. Okay. I'm not going to do that thing. That would be bad. Can I, to, try and keep my mind off the shadowy shadows, in the hour we're walking, putting together what I know from, what we saw at the asylum, what we saw at the farm, what we've heard, can I maybe try and put together why he has dirt? Why would you need a box of earth? And I feel like vampires is the answer, but that's a Carla feeling.
Yeah, you don't want to jump to conclusions. So why don't you give me a either religion or occultism check? This is more to recall knowledge.
Okay, I'm gonna do occultism because it's better. Come on, good roll. Not the worst roll.
Not terrible. So going through your head, two things. One, moving earth could be they are excavating stuff and possibly moving it. Two, ghouls also need to sleep in earth. And three, vampire stuff. In this world, in Golarion, vampires, these vampires, the ones you deal with, are very akin to the Bram Stoker-esque Dracula. So they need to sleep in the earth where they were born. They have aversion to garlic. They have You know, all that stuff. Can't cross running water unless carried across. Sunlight, all that jazz.
Okay, cool. I'm not going to say anything to the party currently while we're in this creepy ass forest. I'm going to wait for a slightly less creepy space to say that. Also, Bobol is holding my hand, and I feel like that's a big responsibility for his big, afraid heart. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
So, I need one moment, please, and thank you to everyone. As you're traveling through the woods, you now hear a crack in the creek. You hear... okay, so first off, thank you very much to chat. They have donated Nat 20 to Nexon and a hero point to Rain. Thank you very much. So that's really awesome. We appreciate it. Those will come in handy as we move forward. As you're walking through the woods, you know, going up, you now constantly keep hearing that thundering sound as you get closer and closer to the bluffs. Oh, what? And sorry, it looks like the boss meter has filled also, which I apologize. I just saw that now. Yeah. So as per normal, thank you very much to everyone out there. We love you. I now need to... a boss battle will now generate, and this is the second one we've had, and this is really fun. I appreciate everyone. So let me just pull up an interesting encounter. How many vampires can I throw at you guys? Like 7, 8, right? Like that's fine. 12.
I'm having that Ghostbusters feeling of like, where he's like, why did you picture the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man?
Yeah.
I just tried to picture the least scary thing I could think of.
Just jumped into my head. As you're walking through the woods, you now... Rain, as you're following the road, you notice something strange. You haven't seen this in a moment, and it's a footprint. It's a big old chunky boy footprint of a giant chicken foot. Well, that's what you want to believe.
She's imagining it. She wants it. She wants it with all her heart. She knows in the back of her head this is not a cute, fluffy chicken.
It's definitely not a cute, fluffy chicken. But
you
who
know,
knows?
Like, it's like a scary book, but you put a nice, pretty cover on top of it. Like you borrow a fantasy, romantic little castle book cover, and you put it over it, and you're just pretending that this is okay. And it's not the scary thing that's on the inside that it is. So Rain just like freezes in her track, just looks at that footprint.
Staring down, you now see the footprint, and suddenly you...
Sorry to interrupt, ladies and gentlemen. The boss battle will continue in just a moment, but we will be back after these very, very short messages.
Yeah.
Boop.
Thank you, everyone. Sorry about that. It was just we had a quick up the map, and as the party next, Rain, you kind of stopped at that giant footprint, looking around. Suddenly, above you, you can hear what sound like bat wings flapping, just floop, floop, floop. And then you look up into the sky, and cresting over the horizon is a massive bat-like figure in the distance. And then it lets out a screech as if you've never heard before, and it cracks, and it's louder than the thunderous bluffs behind you. And suddenly overhead is a massive winged creature, serpentine in appearance, massive wings, and it lets out a roar, and it makes eye contact with the group, and you realize, yeah, it's coming for you. Everyone, please roll initiative. All right. It looks like my beast. Oh. Yeah, it looks like my beastie goes first.
Be nice playing with you guys.
Yeah, I'll see you guys later. And that's the end of the stream. Hope everyone had fun. Yay!
Scorched on the spot.
Yeah. The beastie, flying high above, uses its powerful dive and drops, heading towards, spreading its claws out like an eagle, rushes, flies down, and is going to try and grab Rain in its talons. And it's going to try and... Oof. And it hits Rain. And it slams into her, and its talons wrap around her shoulders, and its wings start to beat off the ground. As you can see, it's trying to take her into the air.
It's not a chicken.
It's Rain's go, ironically. So, what would you
Abort!
like to
Abort! It's not a chicken.
It's not a chicken. Run away!
Never
Run
been a
away!
chicken.
Can I?
1 to 5, Jared.
Oh, that was a crit.
Oh,
1.
No.
Slashing. Target is fatigued as it ruptures your abdominal cavity.
Ow.
Okay, great. That's super awesome.
Yep.
How far up in the air am I?
Oh, it's trying to lift you, so it hasn't yanked you out off.
Okay. Well, I can't believe I'm going to do this. But I am going to cast Tanglefoot on myself.
Nice.
I'm going to just reach these vines up and have it just grasp onto my hooves, pulling me back down, almost building me into the terrain itself.
Yeah.
Now, since I'm doing it on myself, I'm not trying to resist it.
Yeah, you could automatically pass yourself.
Okay,
That's the
good.
thing. You could say like, no, I'm doing this specifically
Doing
to do
this,
something.
But
Yeah.
I'm also not immobilized by my own spell.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So reaching down, you kind of, as the creature digs its claws into your leather hide armor and starts yanking you off the ground, you reach down and you summon vines to your arms, and you're now pulling yourself back down, and you're struggling with this creature. The wyvern trying to pull you up, and you pulling yourself back to the ground. You may make a athletics check to like pull yourself away from it, like, you know, yank yourself away to set yourself free.
Okay. 14.
Plus 2 for the vines. 16. One moment. I just need to see something here. Okay.
I know this is
okay,
kind of going to sound a little bit weird, but is it bad that Malvolo's kind of relieved that we're not fighting those creatures in the woods? And it's like, oh, a dragon. Oh, wait, a dragon. Oh, my God.
Just oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's just like,
It's gonna
whoo.
be fine. It's not fine.
For a second, I thought we were going to be fighting those demon things.
No, yeah. So Rain, you're yanking yourself and it's struggling, and one of its talons like lets go, and it's trying to re-grasp. You haven't broken free, but you could see it's struggling with you.
Okay.
Oops. I apologize. It's really not close.
For my last little action, if I've got at least one, it may have like one of my shoulders. With my other shoulder, I'm going to whip my shield around so that way that other claw can't come back down. So I'm going to raise my shield. I'm tangled in. I got my shield up. I'm trying to create the strongest defense.
Nice.
Let go of me.
Not like this.
Not like this. That'll be your turn.
Awesome. Cassandra, what would you like to do?
I'm going to try Divine Lance it. Also, when you said we're not fighting the beasties, in my mind, I'm just like, because they're for later? And I'm like, no.
We're fine. Maybe they're afraid of dragons too.
That's so lame. So lame.
The ghosts are like,
I'm really glad we're not those guys right now.
Just like,
That's bad.
So in the struggle, in the ensuing chaos, you try to summon your energy, and you pull it down, and at that last moment, Rain kind of pulled herself free, and it tilted the dragon out the way slightly.
Sorry.
No problem. Do I have to take a card for missing? Badly.
Yes, but it's only one. Remember that was that
Only
one
one.
day. It was really bad.
yeah.
we
You got
stopped
it out of the way.
Yeah.
All right. 1 to 5, Carla.
What?
And you have hit with a spell.
Mm-hmm.
The spell reflects. It hits you instead of the target.
That's fun.
Fair.
Okay, so I must roll my damage.
And now you feel what those undead felt when you hit them.
Well, I was undoing them. So technically.
But now we can
Okay,
find out
so
if it'll undo you.
What? Okay, let me just roll on myself. Will that work?
Yeah.
Oh, and I rolled max stat. I was like, I'm gonna get you, and then it's like, nope. Ooh.
No.
Ooh.
And then I'm gonna cast guidance on Rain, and I'm gonna be like, we won't let them take you, and then I'm gonna just cast guidance.
Thank you very much. Nexon, it's your go. What would you like to do?
I'm first going to pull out a needle and just prick my finger and say, oh, aren't you sweet? And I'm going to cast Needle of Vengeance on the wyvern. So
Versus it failed. Yeah, failure.
Failed.
So
So every time it tries to attack Rain, it will take I think it's 4 mental damage now. Anytime it uses a hostile action against Rain.
nice. Awesome.
And then she's also just gonna look up at it and just yell, well, bless your heart. And I'll use my 3rd level spell and cast Agonizing Despair. That it saved.
It did save against that.
But a success. It takes half damage
Half damage.
and becomes frightened 1. So that's only that's 2d. Oh, it takes half of that. I can.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that will be my turn.
Awesome. Frightened is very powerful. All these like conditions is dope. Marvolo, Collodi, the
Okay.
dynamic duo. What would you guys like to do?
All right. Malvolo turns to Collodi and says, "Oh, actually, was there thunder in the in the air like when you were describing this place?
No, you just heard thunder. You didn't see thunder.
Does there's like no clouds up ahead, like storm clouds or anything?
There's a bit of a storm cloud ahead. Yes.
Long story short, I am thinking about putting Collodi on top of this thing with a big lightning rod. Is that going to be something worth doing, or is it like so far away? Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah. All right. Collodi, quick, help Rain. I will do the same. Malvolo is going to move over and is going to use a medicine check to try and heal Rain.
Sure.
I'm going to try for the 20.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to re-roll that with my hero point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make that with my hero point.
Nice. Awesome.
So that's now 4d8. So that's 25 plus something, wasn't it?
48 plus your, I believe, wisdom?
Or
in your wisdom, yeah, because you're using medicine.
Yes. Which is 1. So that's 26. 26.
All right. Well, that heals almost all of Rain.
Yeah. I only took like what now additional 3 points of damage.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
1 second, I got you.
Great.
Yeah, you're feeling awesome from that.
Phenomenal.
Whew. All right. I guess tearing apart and putting Collodi back together again has its perks.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now Collodi is going to move and is going to attempt to whop and chop this. He's going to try and whop and chop this giant overgrown chicken.
Yep.
Take this! Whew. I missed. Mm-hmm.
Wing and a miss.
Is he maybe flat-footed? Because he's half grabbing onto Rain. Rain is sticky.
Let me double check. I don't think so.
Dang. All right. Fine. That's it. Collodi moved and did the thing. I moved and did my thing. That is my turn done.
Awesome. Top of the round. Beastie goes. The Beastie is going to try and like yank Rain up. So it's going to spend one action to like pull Rain into the air. Sadly, Rain it's unable to because Rain has tied herself to the ground. So it's going to release Rain. It's going to fly up another 10 feet. So it's like 10 feet above everyone. And then it whips its tail in a spin. And then it's going to strike with its tail. This is an interesting thing. So it's going to
Always what you
swing
want to hear.
at Rain. It takes 4 damage. It misses.
Standing still and it still misses.
Yeah, swing and a miss. Wow, that's it. Has to try really hard to miss. But yeah, that's 3 actions. So it's like 10 feet above the group now. And it's Rain. What would you like to do?
10 feet off the ground. Okay. We are going to cast and produce flame, and I'm going to just try to yeet a fireball at it of sorts.
Huh.
It seems like a good normal choice.
Yeah, solid plan.
Yeah, you know. Okay, that's a miss.
That's okay. It's
That's
not
a
a critical miss.
Cool.
All right. Anything else you want
I can't seem to hit it. I'm going to cast guidance on. Let's go with Nexon.
to? It's just getting passed around.
We're just keep passing it. Your turn, hot potato.
Cassandra, it is your go.
Okay. So I'm going to try Divine Lance once more.
Okay.
Let me see. And then I have a second. Okay,
Chooses
at least it
not to.
wasn't-
It's like, nah.
Nah. Okay. Can I, with my last action, make a knowledge check to see what this creature might be afraid of, and if I can do some stage magic?
Yeah,
Because
sure.
I feel like I'm not useful here.
Sure.
Ooh.
Not a problem. You may make a Arcana check. Right? Yeah, Arcana. That blows your mind. You're like, wait, what? Yeah. Or a nature check, but it's a little harder with nature than it is with Arcana.
With the +2 to nature and a +10 to Arcana, it is a little bit harder with nature. For me. To that. Gosh. I'm doing so good. Doing so
Today,
good.
the dice are not with everyone. So this is probably a proto dragon. They are aggressive at best. Additionally, the reason why they like to they pick up their prey and actually think it's amusing to drop them from the air.
Oh, good. That sounds awesome.
Oh,
That
nice.
is what. So it was trying to grab Rain and drop it, and it will like drop them onto like large rocks and stuff, because the proto dragons think A, it's amusing, and B, it like mashes their food a little bit. So it's a
Crows do
little
that
easier
all the
to-
time in traffic.
Yeah.
What, dude?
Yeah, in Japan, there were crows that learned how to drop nuts and things by a driving school. So the cars would run them over, and then they'd wait for the crosswalk to turn to walk, and then they'd walk out and go pick up the extra pieces.
Yep.
Not that it's great that I'm really happy that that's worthy experience of the nuts right now.
Meanwhile,
it's the same. Except
meanwhile-
we're the nuts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in Japan, they're like, goddamn gross. We're down here going, goddamn dragons.
Yeah. So that's what you kind of get from the knowledge of this.
Okay, I'm gonna say it's gonna keep trying to pick us up. So stay grounded, I say as one of the littlest people.
Kalodi puts on his, dress again. He's like, oh, he's trying to pick us up, huh? Nope. Oh, by the way, I also found this
Not you.
I found this in Sirenscape.
Oh,
goodness.
That is a
That's how
button
you
they
need to
that is
encourage these
yeah,
jokes
that is a
more.
button that should not have been put in this. But it is, and it's there.
Okay, so Nexon, you have guidance casted upon you. What would you like to do?
Right. I'm going to pull out my sling and
Yes.
wrap one of the charms I have around it, casting magic weapon on my sling.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then I will try and hit it with the sling.
Yeah,
And
go
I'll
for it.
definitely use the guidance on this. So I think that gives me, with the magic weapon, that's a +2. No,
Mhm.
no, that's not.
Well, that won't be
Alright,
that bad.
Can I use my hero point to reroll that?
As always, yes. There it is.
Yeah.
15, 16, 17. Where are we here with the beastie? Yeah, that's so it goes a little wide. Just a little
Alright.
bit.
Alright. Yeah, and that's my turn.
Huh.
I tried, guys.
No judges.
No judges. No. Marvola, what would you like to do?
All right, so I'm gonna keep instructing Kalodi to attack the dragon. And before he does, though, I am going to use overdrive. To use overdrive, I need to make a craft check equal to my class DC. My class DC is 19.
Yep. Oh, you got it.
Yep, and
That's a critical.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's critical. So for 1 minute, Kalodi gets a +4 on his damage, which is useful. So he's in overdrive mode for 1 minute. And then Kalodi's going to attack.
Yes.
All right, come on, Kalodi. First attack. Hell yeah!
Hits.
That's an extra +4. Alright, it's not too bad. Second attack. Oh, critical miss. And I can't dodge that. I'm going to take that. Oh, Kalodi, why? I'm going to say the number 2. I don't feel like we have too many 2s.
No, not enough.
Butterfly Fingers. He drops the weapon he made the attack with. Well, his arm falls off.
Just clank.
Just thwack. He just swings it. Pang. Clock.
Awesome.
Of course, you realize this means war. And with Malvolo's last action, I don't have that yet. What action is it to activate my snare, by the way?
It's a single action to activate your snare.
Then I'm going to activate my snare. I'm going to blow Kalodi's spear trap, and I'm going to deploy it into the goddamn face of this dude. Let me just pull up my snare playbook here. He needs to make a DC 17 reflex save. Well, I guess. Yeah, that'll do it. So, Kalodi's chest is sort of like partial. It doesn't really open more than just these little holes open up, and these spears just
Nice.
and nothing happens because it dodges.
Yeah. As you launch that, the proto dragon kind of flaps its wings back and ducks out the way of this attack. Having just taken a massive hit from Kalodi, and by massive I mean like it's the last thing to hit Kalodi, to hit the wyvern, the dragon, the drake.
It's a wyvern.
Is going. Well, yeah.
Look, it says it in the turn, mate. We all can see it. Everyone can read it.
No, it's what I want it to be. It's going to use its claw, and it's going to try and grab up Kalodi. And it does hit. So it's now grabbing Kalodi and pulling him. It deals a little bit of damage to Kalodi, but now Kalodi's been grabbed, and it's going to try and fly up and away with Kalodi. So it has to make a athletics check to see if it can. I got a 31. What's Kalodi's fortitude DC? So
it's 32, mate. Yeah, it's
okay.
It's clearly 32.
Just right there.
32.
It's 22.
Okay. So it's not a critical success, so it can only move 5 feet up with Kalodi. So Kalodi's now 5 feet off the ground as it's flapping its wings, trying to rise into the air and take Kalodi. What you don't know is it's actually really trying to date Kalodi. It saw Kalodi on the boat, and it was like, oh, that's the woman I want to be with.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. Kalodi has
but it's-
this effect on people.
Entrancing.
Yes. Rain, it is your go.
Oh gosh.
Help me, Rain! It's trying to take me! Don't let it eat me!
You can't be eaten. You'll be fine. Maybe.
Malvolio installed sensors to make me feel pain.
I'm going to try casting web on it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Why does it do this for me?
I think it needs to make a save, right?
Yeah, it needs to
Oh,
make
yeah.
a save.
Yeah.
Is it like a reflex, right? Something like that? Something said?
Reflex save. It must attempt either an athletics or a reflex.
Right, so reflex it is. One moment.
What is my spell DC?
So I just wanted to
It's just grabbing everyone.
Sorry. I just wanted
I
to
like
make sure
that.
that was there. Oh, I rolled a very 31, but it's grabbed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, 31 will probably definitely. Yep.
Okay. Let's see. Let's double check web because I'm pretty sure it might do something else. It might have that effect where it might miss, but it also.
I'm just throwing anything at
Oh.
it.
Okay, so it's not a critical success, right? So it's just like a success. So it actually covers so you kind of like Spider-Man web blast above it, and the web kind of drops down, so it doesn't impede its movement or stop it, but it's still an area that is sticky. So it's struggling. It would have to spend its turns clearing to get out of the way.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take up
So
one
you
of the
slowed it
actions.
down, yeah.
There we go. I'll take it. I'm
Um,
gonna trip you up a little bit. Make
Yeah.
you take one more. I'm just gonna annoy you.
Thank you, Rain.
it's helping.
I'm sorry, I can't do more. That's all I can do. Brain's feeling very helpless.
That actually helps because anyone with magic knows web is flammable, and it's now Cassandra's turn. What would you like to do, Cassandra?
I am probably I have nothing that can set fire to that thing, so I'm going to, for a hope and a prayer, I'm going to use the Rod of Wonder and activate it and try and attack. Hopefully it makes an attack and doesn't like turn it into a disco or anything like that, but we shall see. So let me roll the percentile. I want to roll 2. Did it roll? Not on the check. As usual, I'm having the fun time where it does. Okay, there's a 2. Let me just roll the next one. They're both. Did that 2 come through? No, it's not a 2.
There it is.
There.
28.
28. So grass grows in a 60-foot cone in front of the rod.
Oh
So
yeah.
I've just put like
Beautiful
a
lawn
like
now.
So
but it's in the sky because it's in the sky. So it's a cone of grass, which is also flammable. I'm helping.
Are we going for the confusion effect?
Kalodi, it's gonna happen, and I'm gonna look, and I'm gonna say, Kalodi, use it as a bridge to come down. I don't know, and I'm gonna give Kalodi guidance. And end my turn.
So Kalodi, wait. So Kalodi has been grappled by a wyvern, is covered in webs, and now also grass. So basically, he looks like some sort of abominable Yeti man covered in like grass. It's basically like tar and feathering poor Kalodi.
Yes. We wanted a
cushion for
chicken.
when
We're
you
gonna make a
fall.
chicken.
Chicken Kalodi. I'll start the Hero Forge mini.
You're welcome.
Nexon, what would you like to do?
Nexon's not liking being so close. She sees Kalodi get picked up and just kind of like, nope. So she's gonna move kind of back a little ways, and then wind up her sling again and try and hit it.
What?
Why?
Well, I mean, I guess. Do you really have a +2 on your sling?
It's
Well-
+2, and then it should be another +1 for the magic weapon.
Yeah, and that is enough to actually hit it. So I don't.
Okay.
Okay.
And then it's 2d6 bludgeoning because it's a magic weapon.
Hooray!
So.
Because it is grappled with Kalodi, so it should have a negative. So I don't understand. I'm not here to program, but it does hit. So,
Okay. Nope, that didn't come back here. That didn't roll on it. I'm just gonna roll it there. So 5 points of bludgeoning.
Nice.
Yeah, she'll be like, "Ha! Take that, you bugger." And I will I'll try again.
Yeah. No.
No.
That one misses. It's not a critical miss.
Okay.
Because it would be you matched the number, so it's not a critical miss, but it does miss. So you just fired off 2 slings, and sadly the second one kind of goes high because of the grass. It's blocking your field of view. Marvola, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm going to instruct Kalodi to struggle. Kalodi uses struggle. It is not very effective. Alright. Here we go. Oh! I'm going to use my other arm, because remember, one arm dropped. I'm going to use my lightning-y arm.
Ooh.
Which has a +1 bonus, I believe, to my attack.
Yes.
And
That
do
will
you have
hit.
Guidance.
Which will hit.
Yes.
Oh! If I've got guidance, so guidance is an extra
1.
+1. So would a 29 possibly? Nope, probably not. Nah, probably. All right, so
Close,
that's
but
extra 4 onto my slashing, and then a d6 of electricity.
Yep.
There's an extra 4 electricity on top of that.
Awesome.
And then I'm gonna hit him again. Yeah. Oh. Nah. I just regular miss. All right, and then Malvolo is going to look up in the sky, and realizing that everything super flammable is up there in the sky with Kalodi, he pulls out his button. Little tiny salute. Boop. And I'm gonna explode Kalodi with my 2 remaining actions. Which of course means it needs to make me a reflex save. DC is 19.
No.
Oh, nice. So with that, it is I believe 2d6 points of fire damage.
Mm-hmm.
10 points of fire damage.
Nice. You actually get an additional, so 11 points of fire damage, because of the flammable web that is now burning all over you guys.
Yeah, and the grass.
And the grass, yes.
Let's not
And
forget
the
the grass.
grass.
It's the most important factor.
Let us never forget grass.
Is
Yes.
the cone of grass also on fire? Like the whole thing?
No, it's just like the top of it is now burning away.
Like a small cone of fire?
Yeah.
And
So it's
thing
just
of
gonna
grass.
slowly burn down
And,
towards Cassandra.
Yeah.
And Mavola's gonna yell out, "You picked up the wrong one! I'm gonna keep hitting this!" And that's all I can do.
So with Collodi exploding, the creature is going to drop Collodi the 5 feet. So Collodi hits the floor, not taking any damage from the floor fall because it's less than 10. The creature is now angry, is going to bite out at Collodi, so it's going to try and bite his head off, and that will hit. And then it's going to claw at Rain. No, I lied. It's going to tail whip Rain. Both of those hit.
4 damage.
Oh,
Oh,
Tail. That tail.
The tail.
that tail, yo. But he's already crit Rain, so he doesn't get another one.
Yeah. Oh no, I've crit. I used my crit card. Rain, as you get hit, you look down and there's a large spike sticking out of where the hit is. It kind of looks like a porcupine quill. Please make a fortitude saving throw.
Okay. Ha! Well, maybe. I don't know. 23?
Okay. So as you pull out the spike and you look at it, you realize it came less than a centimeter away, like it's right there, about puncturing your armor, and it saved you from having this quill puncture you. And you squeeze it, and you could see, like, it looks like a thick liquid is like now leaking out of it, kind of like a poison.
Oh, no.
And that's the end of the beastie's turn. Rain, is your go.
I'm feeling a little desperate, so I'm just curious. Can I throw this quill back at it?
Yeah, you could throw it back at it. It's close enough.
I have like I don't know. I don't know. What would
Just
I run
throw.
with that?
It's a D2. You roll a D20 and it's like a D4. Like,
Okay.
no. It goes a bit wide.
Because it doesn't. It's not. It's like throwing a very tiny needle, and it goes.
Yeah. I want to say maybe like a little bit of grass got in the way as you threw it. You're like, no, grass.
Yeah.
See, I was kind of imagining the Ace Ventura thing where she goes to throw it and he goes straight into her thigh. Like,
This is backfiring in terrible ways. Why are we so bad at this? All right. Well, I'm just gonna try. I'm gonna try to burn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 17
Oh.
I'm just missing every time. Why is it so hard to hit in the air? Why?
It's the wind.
That I created earlier? Is this the repercussions of my own actions?
it is. It's the wind coming back to bite you.
Would you like to move or do anything else?
You know, because the wind
No.
bites.
Because I'm keeping myself entangled.
Sure. Cassandra, what would you like to do?
Something I think is very stupid, but the only thing I can do, because I'm not going to pull out the Rod and Wonder again, because that would be lame. I'm going to cast Sanctuary on myself.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then, because I can't take any hostile actions, I'm going to move a little bit away from the group, but not so far that they can't come save me.
Mhm.
And I'm going to try and draw its aggro. And I'm going to be like, in the bushes, and I'm gonna be shouting like, "You have to drop your food on the rocks because you can't eat it, and your jaws aren't strong." And I'm gonna shout it in like all the languages I know.
Got it.
Yeah. And I'm gonna try and.
Oh Lord, Cassandra has tongues.
Yeah. I'm just gonna
so,
try and upset
Cassandra, I
that
would
it
like you to
chases
make
me.
a performance check.
Okay.
Wow. There you go.
Yes, I. That's why I did that previous thing about what the dragon was.
There you go. Yeah, so it's working. You could see at this point. So Cassandra starts yelling in all different languages, and then the little beastie's head kind of like perks up, and then it makes eye contact with you, and it does with its back claw. It does that thing where it's like,
Yeah, and then I'm gonna say, "Yeah, you have to pick on me because you're not strong enough." And then, Sanctuary, please save me next turn.
I like that. It's like, oh man. Nexon, what would you like to do?
Nexon's going to undo one of her knots and yell out, "We'll hold your horses," and I will cast Daze on the wyvern, and it definitely succeeded. So
Sad face.
never mind. And she's just dang it, and just she'll try hitting it with the sling again.
Yes.
That's,
No.
does 11 mean that it's not a critical?
You would have to. It's 3 under for the critical failure.
Okay. Yeah. No.
So.
I'll just take it.
All right, what's
There
the
you
number?
3.
1, 2, 3. Ranged weapon overthrown. If the attack is a thrown weapon, it travels 3 times its range increments in a random direction as determined by the GM.
Okay.
Which means
So
it could
if-
potentially hit someone.
North, south, east, west. All right. So roll a d4. A 1 is, I guess north-ish area. So in the top.
Well, I think for the important one, you'd roll a d4, and if you get a 2 or a 3, then it'll hit one.
it'll-
Then roll another
yeah.
d4. It might hit one of us.
All right, 3.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Yep. Okay. So that might hit Kalodi, and if you roll a
Yeah.
d4 again, you get another 3. That'll hit Kalodi.
Yeah, there you go. Nope.
Okay.
So it flies wide, and then you hear a squawk in a tree. Just
You killed the
And then-
actual chicken.
I took it out.
got it.
It was actually a puppet controlling the giant dragon.
The whole time.
It's a small chicken syndrome, so I'd have to get a big chicken.
There you go.
All right. And that's my turn.
Marvolo, what would you like to do?
All right. Keep chopping them, Kalodi. I wish that there was another way to describe this action, but there really isn't. All right.
It's a hit.
Yeah. All right. Die, giant bird, and then take another 5 damage.
Nice.
How's it looking?
All right. So as you swing out, you hit it, right? And it's now going to drop because it's at 0 life with that last 5 bits of lightning damage. And
Yeah.
that really dope item you got last time.
Oh. Bloody Z, if you were in the chat, dude, you are a bloody legend. Thank you so much for your sword.
Yeah, that got it at the last bit. I'm gonna say this. Cassandra, it was coming for you. You were on the list. I don't know. Maybe it might have hit. It might have made it save. But
Does it have
yeah,
a high will?
yeah, Yeah, it does not, but there's always a good chance, right? So suddenly this massive giant chicken falls from the sky, landing on the floor with like a thud. You know,
You're serious. Oh.
it kicks its leg and then it twitches and then you see it stop breathing. And yeah, it's no longer alive, but it's not a giant chicken.
Okay.
No, it's still it's a wyvern and it's on the floor and it's no longer moving.
Is it like if we open it up, is it like controlled by a bunch of chickens on the inside?
The hundreds of chickens. Just you open it up and they just got flying out.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's like a chicken
full of
pinata.
Chickens. Yeah.
Oh,
Rain is just
Rain, stay still.
in her pile of weeds. No, I just can't take it anymore.
Oh, no, never mind.
Just when I think I'm ready for this, I thought we were bracing ourselves for the undead. I can handle the undead, but that was not an undead. Listen, I can focus on one thing at a time. I cannot handle all of these things. Nothing is on our side.
And then Cassandra's gonna say it because she wants to feel like she's useful and she knows things. She's gonna try and put like her most chipper spin on it, and she's gonna say, well, if it makes you feel better, I think we're going to be seeing more undead at Foxcliffs Manor. And then I'm gonna say, because the earth that they were moving there, it could be ghouls, which we are very, very good at, or it could be a vampire, but it could be ghouls, which we're very, very good at.
Did she just say vampire? I think she just said vampire. Yeah, I heard it.
You are like the only one. Well, the couple. I'm not. I can't handle any of that. I can't kill any of them. I'm just a target. A target.
Hey, I kind of got I don't know, maybe. Hey, Mal. Don't call me that. Listen, can you do something with this? I'm gonna have a look at the body of the giant chicken. What I would like to do is I would like to fashion a weapon out of either the claws or the tail. Probably the tail, actually. I think the tail, if it's got like a stinger, etc. I want to try and make a poison. What weapon does Rain use normally?
A sickle.
I would like to see if I could fashion a dragon bone sickle. With a craft check.
It will take you some time. You can make a craft check to see how long.
I have quickened craft, thank you. I am a speedy craft person. I can work as multiple people do. Yeah, I will give that a go. Why my life? That's a 14. I'd like to point out that it's still a 14 on a 1.
It's still a 14. As you are trying to kind of craft this out, you prick yourself on some of the venom, and you now need to make a fortitude save.
Bloody typical. All right, here we go.
Still attacking.
24.
Oh, dang. Everyone just beats it by like the littlest bit. I'm so sad.
Yeah.
Are you really mad that we're living?
Yes.
But yes, I will harvest this, and I will take the time, no matter how long, to fashion a dragon bone sickle.
Yeah.
Can
So
I
it will
actually
take
help
you
with, like, a nature check. Like, I'll help at least pull the bones out of the wyvern. I can't help with the crafting part, but I can help gather the materials.
I'm clearly not good at that.
Sure. So as you guys are helping gathering the material and complete this.
Very briefly, I imagined like the tail is actually more like a quill, like a series of quills, and there's Malvolo just sitting there going, ow, 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 and Rain going, stop that.
Yeah. So in time you can fashion this. It'll take you maybe like 15, 20 minutes to come up with something solid. And Rain gives it like a few good swipes to make sure it's working out well. Cassandra and Nexon, what are you two doing while they're harvesting the beastie?
I want to be just kind of keeping an eye on the like woods around us and like trying to spot any of these shadows and figure out like what they are if I do see one.
Mm-hmm. Every time, kind of like at this point, you're keeping an eye out, and you would see maybe in like that 15-minute time span, you might see like one like
Okay.
quick shadow creature. You can make a occultism or arcana check.
Which ones? 24.
So this is when you're looking and you're kind of peeking out and you kind of catch a glimpse of this creature. They seem to be hiding from you or trying to avoid you every so often. Like less like the moment you make eye contact, it moves away. Probably they're spirits of sorts, like an actual like ghost, right? Like that's the best way to put it. It's definitely a spirit. They haven't come closer and they're giving you more than enough breath. But it's just strange. They seem to be made out of the mist also.
Okay. Yeah, I'll kind of tell Cassandra. I think what's following us are spirits. I don't know. Every time I look at them, they disappear. So maybe kind of try and like keep an eye out at the corner of your vision, so you're not like looking directly at it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to while they were doing that, I was looking through the food packs for anything with garlic in it.
You
And
know
then I was
what?
like, eat this, going to eat this.
Yeah, you're able to easily find like some garlic that they had packed away for travel.
Yeah. So as Nixon comes to me, I'm like, eat this, and then she says to me, okay, I'm gonna first try. Can I try also look like with occultism before I actually do try spirit sense it? Maybe.
Sure.
Okay, occultism. Come on. So good. I'm doing so good.
What? You know, you could use your hero point because you'll get it back at the start of.
No, I have halfling luck, guys.
There you go.
Halfling luck. Woohoo!
Nice.
Come on, halfling luck. Yeah, I just got at this level. So let's see. That is better. It's better.
It's better. So again, more or less these are spirits. But it seems they are bound by the fog. They are not appearing in the trees, like on the higher levels of the trees, and they weren't appearing like when Rain was doing the wind. You could see that they wouldn't appear in any area that didn't have the fog. Like that's you're putting like the two together.
Mm-hmm.
So they are stuck in the fog. So maybe it's something about the fog, or maybe the fog in itself is an entity.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna share this with Nixon, and then I'm gonna ask, I'm gonna whisper it so that Rain and Malvola and Kalodi don't hear. And I'm gonna say, do you think I should try spirit sense it, or is ignorance bliss for this moment?
I mean, I think it would be good to know what we're dealing with. If maybe they might be an ally, or if there's something we should avoid. And if you go all again, I can pull you back out.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they haven't tried to attack us, so yeah. There's been a lot of bad things happening to good people, and spirits tend to linger when that happens, so probably good people. And then I'm gonna cast Spirit Sense.
Well then, I do need to have you make a will save.
Cool. Man, where's my will? Okay. I will you to be a better roll. Yes.
There you go. Hey, there you go. So that's awesome. So you now have more control over this situation. As you do that, you get you touch and you reach out with your mind into the ether, and looking around, you see something peeking out from behind a tree, and it's one of those shadows. You stare at it for a second, and it's of a woman, and you can kind of make out her face at this point, and she looks out, and the other half of her face is skeletal, and she opens her mouth as if going to speak, but more that fog just flows out from her mouth, and then she just points a skeletal hand up by the bluffs, the way you were going, and you hear in your head, "Father's home."
Okay. When you say woman, like age what is this, could this be Aldous' child?
Could be.
Didn't Sylvia say she had children?
Yes.
So it's not like an old woman.
No. I apologize. Like a younger female. Maybe in their early 20s, maybe late teens.
And I mean, they're like fuzzy and foggy. I can't see like if she looks like Sylvia or.
It's more or less they're made out of the mist, like wisp. Like the hair is like very misty, and like I said, when she opens her mouth to speak, just more that fog flows out of her and joins with the rest of it. Even her lower half is more or less made out of the fog.
Okay, but I don't get like super malicious intent from her or
Sadness, grief, melancholy.
Yeah, she's definitely the kid. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna. Can't do I like I don't sense anyone else easily in like the 3 minutes that I stay in there.
No, that's kind of in that 3 minutes, that's what happens. So it's a lot to take in, and you're reaching out. Yeah.
I'm going to come back, and I'm going to turn to Nixon, and I'm going to say, well, once again, it's just more destruction, and the spirits themselves are not malicious. I do believe potentially that Aldous has gone mad, and I don't think we're going to find his children safe and well. But I'm going to like whisper this to, because I know like Rain's going to be, not that I'm not upset. And I'm going to say, I saw a young girl in one of the figures was a youngish woman girl, who pointed to the to the manor and said the words "father's home." So I'm not sure if that means sort of one of those general, or if it's truly his child. But the spirits seem to be made out of the fog or creating the fog. But I don't think the fog in itself is dangerous to us. Other than that, it makes it difficult to see.
Well, and hopefully that means that he's there so we can kind of take care of things.
Yeah, agreed. But like I think with this kind of, and this is Carla thinking, not necessarily knowing the most about Pathfinder lore, but Kaz is going to think like this is actually very heavy, like hardcore necromancy. Like this person's going to be extremely, extremely skilled when we get there. So
maybe we should come up with kind of a plan of attack.
Yeah, I think going directly through the front door, considering I wasn't any help with the wyvern, I
think
can
there is
only imagine what's coming.
Well, I think there's a big difference between being useful fighting a flying dragon and being useful fighting the creatures from beyond. Look, I'm not a fighter. I think we can all establish this. Yes, and Kalodi is a blunt instrument at best. Hey, but I think we are going to rely heavily on magics when we come to dealing with these things. All I can say is that between Kalodi and myself, we can do our best to protect you. But ultimately, I think overcoming whatever challenges that we may face when going up against whatever exists within this manor will come down to yourself and, well, your expertise with the undead. Even if it's not something physical, your knowledge alone is invaluable, Cassandra.
Thank you so much. And then seeing that Malvolo and Rain have only heard half the conversation, I'm just gonna reiterate it again, and I'm gonna stress very much so that she doesn't seem to be in pain as the spirit. She just seems extremely saddened, and that's also what makes me think she's his child, because I imagine she's very saddened with what he's become.
We've seen more than just one spectre type thing in the woods, haven't we?
Yes, you have.
Malvola's not going to say anything out loud, but in his head, he's just thinking like, maybe this place has a history a lot older than Alden, and maybe Alden isn't the only thing at play here. Like, the mention of a vampire, for example, is an ancient evil. And, Alden was fine. I mean, he was weird, but he was fine when we met him, you know what I mean? Yeah, there may definitely be something more here. But I don't want to get... I don't want to panic everyone with hearsays and suspicions and whatnot, so Malvola's just kind of bite his tongue on those.
There were the rumors that the family made a deal with some kind of entity, so maybe that was this vampires who they made a deal with. And they came collecting on that debt.
That's very possible. So, Rain, as you finish kind of getting your sickle in order, packing it away, and the group kind of looking to each other, trying to figure out what's going on. The fog kind of starts to envelop are starting to envelop the group and are over this wyvern. And looking around, following that path that you found earlier, and that's what you were staying on. It now seems as if the fog is more or less opening for you to stay on that path.
Well, it looks like we're being welcomed.
As you kind of look up the path, and now everyone can see it kind of clearing up, there seems to be a package sitting in the middle of the road.
I can't open that. I can't open that. I don't know what that is. I just know it's for us. I can't open it. I'm not going to be the one who opens that.
That's okay. One of us can open it. And then I'm gonna like look at Kalodi, like in case it's like some explosion. Like, hey guy, go open the box.
So Kalodi doesn't have a nose, but he'd be doing what the effectiveness of like picking his nose. It's like, oh yeah. No, I got it. Don't worry about it. Goddamn fleshies thing. Just because I'm made of wood, like my parts don't grow up on trees. Anyway, he goes. He just he goes over to the package. Sort of looks at it. How big is this thing?
Oh, it's wrapped in twine and brown like butcher's paper.
Oh, good.
And it's small. It's like small like that. Like it's maybe a foot by foot.
All right. He's gonna take his very prehensile hands and undo the knot carefully, and then unfold the brown paper. He's gonna make sure that his body is interposed between the group and whatever he's looking at.
Of course. Taking off the twine and lifting it, you open the lid of the package, and inside there's a note. And on the front of the note, it says, rain. Opening the note, Kalodi, it says, "My beloved, next time we meet, you should be wearing this. I hope it keeps you warm." And inside is actually a deep green cloak with a voluminous hood embroidered with gold trim and symbols signifying elven words. So it's a beautifully made cloak.
I was expecting human skin suit. This is
Well,
the
note
is
written on-
that's fine. But I mean, this is actually quite nice. Kalodi, you
Oh, what a
bastard.
thoughtful murderer. Good.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna like, oh, Kalodi, you bastard. What's in the package? Nothing. Kalodi just takes the jacket. Kalodi will take the note and hand it to Cassandra, and take the robe and hand it to also Cassandra. And Kalodi will then take the little brown paper bag and then put it inside of him. And when Cassandra has read the note, Kalodi will look and see that she's read the note. She knows what it says, committed it to memory.
I'm going to, when he gives me the cloak, I'm going to give it to Nexon. And then I'm going to...
just kind of standing there like, give.
And I'm going to like, when Kalodi gives it to me, I'm going to be like, okay. Okay. And then I'm going to hold the note, see that it says rain, and I'm going to say, do you want the or do you want me
No.
to read
Well,
it?
yeah, he wants you to read it. He sort of like looks and sort of gestures and then looks at Rain. He's doing very bad sign language at this point.
Yeah.
I feel like he's done this
I'm gonna
before.
look.
I feel like I've done this exact same thing before, where he's just very poorly tried to communicate. Don't let Rain see the horrible things.
Yeah, Kaz is like Hey, Rain needs to know, but maybe she doesn't need to touch the skin paper.
Go, and then I'll take the skin paper, put it in with the brown paper bag and the twine, and then you hear this soft.
He set it on fire. Nice.
Yeah.
But
I'll tell Ray.
Oh, go.
Wants to know. Yeah, sorry. I'll tell her.
Yeah, as soon as Nixon gets her hands on the cloak, she's gonna start like looking at the threads and kind of like pulling at it and examining the fabric and everything. And I'd like to use my crafter's appraisal to try and identify if it's a magic item and what it is.
Sure. So using that ability, it is a magical item.
Okay.
It has illusion based on it. And what it is a cloak of elven kind.
Okay.
Which is very rare and very valuable. So also the cool thing about these cloaks is they always fit whoever's wearing them. So if a short person puts it on, it fits them. A very large person fits to them. So it's pretty awesome.
Well, this doesn't seem to be anything bad. I mean, honestly, this seems much more like a normal romantic gesture. Honestly, it's just a cloak of elven kind, which is weird.
That's way too expensive. Even pretending this wasn't some murderous, awful. Just no. It doesn't matter if it's a beautiful cloak. It's coming from somebody who is not, who's unkind, who is cruel even, and monstrous. I can't take this. I can't put this on. Even if assuming that it's not cursed or has a tracker or is something, whatever it could be, I don't want to have anything to do with that cloak. I can't. I know it's beautiful. You can have it, any of you, but I can't wear that knowing who it comes from, as if he would take it as any form of encouragement from me. If I come walking in wearing that cloak, I don't.
You are not wrong at all, Rain. I completely understand, but I think for the purposes of it, something this valuable might fetch a pretty penny, and at the very least, we might be able to turn it into something useful for us back in Sandpoint.
I mean, the only reason I could see to wear it is to maybe throw him off. Think that you're, on his side, and we can kind of use that as a, deceive him and catch him off guard.
Do you think he'd let his guard down that easily?
I mean, I haven't met the fellow, so I don't know.
Does seem enamored with you, and we, Nixon, you can potentially tell us more, but we have these which look very similar, because I mean, we didn't do a check on them when we got them, but we actually have boots of elven kind, which if you wear them together, you get bonuses. They stack. So I'll fetch the boots out of our bag of holding and ask Nixon, are they the same? And then
Yeah, I'll look them over.
And then whoever wears them can accessorize.
Yeah. They
Fashion.
obviously
look.
Now we need pants of elven kind and shirt of elven kind, gloves of elven kind.
They're both
Made of real
the
elf.
elven kind, but like what the cloak is like a verdant green, so it's slightly off, but it looks like they would match. It wouldn't be too much of a faux pas to wear them together.
Okay.
Um,
Only if this will give us an advantage. If we think that maybe we'll get to surprise him more, catch him off guard, or he'll let all of us at least onto the property. We can do this.
Yeah, I think he seems very powerful, and whatever he's gotten himself into is very powerful. So I think the further we can get in without having to fight or is probably better.
Well, look, I mean, we've just killed a dragon. How much worse could this possibly be?
Much worse. Have you?
I was trying to make us feel better. I am so
Trying to
terrified.
describe that.
He turned an entire farm of farmers into ghouls.
As the group is kind of standing, trying to figure out what to wear, you look up and you now realize the storm clouds that were out in the distance have started to roll in and is now making everything start to turn gray and darker than it originally was. Rain starts to drop from the skies. You still hear the thunder from the bluffs. The path is still clear, but as it gets darker and darker, you start to notice that the trees themselves start to warp and twist as if some kind of force is changing them. The ground becomes very muddy, as if it's just absorbing the rain. You can hear crows flying to overhead. As you look up, there is a murder of crows, and they are all flying towards Foxglove Manor. Flying into the storm, which anyone knows is very strange and very, very wrong.
Have to do this. If we prolong this, it's only going to get worse for us and for others. So we have to do this. I'm going to put on a brave face, and we're going to get this finished. And she'll throw the cloak over her shoulders and just moose bumps spot all up along her arms. The eeriness, just knowing what it is and that it is on her, unnerves her to no end. But she
Where
looks forward. Yes.
where is
and ready
Twilo?
to go. In his little safety pack.
Twilo left. Twilo is the smartest one out of everyone.
Twilo. You turn around, it's like just a little doll with like that looks like Twilo. It's like, where did Twilo go? Twilo's back in Sandpoint with like a little margarita. It's like
With Nick's doing the safety dance, but like to music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Back at the
And
Rusty
off
Dragon.
the top of the pineapple, and he wears it as a hat.
Yep. Rain putting on the cloak and putting up the hood, moving forward, the group following. As you come past the clearing, you're now on the road, and you look up, and perched on the cliffside, as if appear this massive Victorian house appears to loathe itself. It's just rotted, and it looks as if the cliffside is about to give way and have this house plunge into the ocean below. The crows are now lining the house, not even trying to avoid the rain as it drops onto them. And that's where we'll end it for today. I hope everyone had fun. That boss battle was really awesome. I apologize for not having something, just trying to juggle and grab it in. I want to say thank you very much to everyone sticking around with us. This is getting to the fun part, the part I like the most, super creepy part. As always, I want to thank our sponsors, Hero Forge and Sirenscape, for sponsoring us and allowing us to do all this amazing, cool stuff. I want to also thank, of course, Paizo for creating this really cool, really eerie adventure. It's a blast, and playing it in second edition with this amazing cast is I'm blessed and lucky. But if you want to check out where the rest of the cast plays or does or what they do when they're not here being creeped out by me, I'm gonna throw it over to the amazing Dawn. Dawn.
Hey, yeah, when I'm not here playing this game, you can find me over on YouTube, Roll for Initiative, where I make videos with my partner Ryan all about tabletop RPGs and our other geeky interests. And you can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at R4iVlog.
I'm Becca Godsey. You can find me on Becca Godsey on Twitter and Instagram, and also as X Caustic Phoenix here on Twitch. We'll be on here later today playing some Guardian games on Destiny. Go Hunters!
And I'm Carla. You can find me at DumDumDie, spelled DUMDUMDIE, every Tuesday on Twitch and every Wednesday on our podcast as we do a D&D 5th edition homebrew adventure. Yeah, that's me.
And my name is Michael. I am the Dead Aussie Gamer. This is my place. This is my face. And you can find it here multiple times a week. We've got a new lineup coming up next week and over the next few weeks. Normally we have Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays we play Patreon games for my lovely patrons who support the channel, including Starfinder, Pathfinder 1st Edition, Strange Aeons, and Curse of Strahd. But as of next week, I will also be doing a audience hero builder game thing, which I haven't actually named yet, which I probably should get onto, where I sit down with the audience, we make Hero Forge minis and build and design characters, including voice acting, character backgrounds and stuff, so you get to see my process, as it were, from start to finish of designing characters for games. So yeah, that's what I've got lined up and coming through. So yay!
Awesome. Thank you very much. And I am GM Jared. When I'm not here, you can find me over on Twitch at NVNG, or you can come to our website, nvngpodcast.com, where we have tons of links to everything else. Additionally, I want to say Titans all the way, Rain. Titans all the way. Becca,
No, Titans
all day, every day.
Titans.
No, Titans. So again, thank you very much to everyone. I hope everyone out there had a blast. I know, Michael, we're probably going to raid someone. So I'm just going to kick it back over to Michael. He'll let you know what's the good word with that.
Yes, we are going to go and raid. As always, we do love to share our love with the lovely and super folks that stream as well. As for who we're going to go and raid, we are going to go and find ourselves over with... Six Sides of Gaming. I like those guys. They are a lot of fun. So we're going to go and raid those dudes. So do stick around for the raid because, of course, you earn those big dag dollary dues, which you can use to influence the course of a variety of different games, not just this one, but my other games as well. So thank you very much. And when we get into the other chat, don't forget to give them the good old-fashioned Aussie, Aussie, Aussie when you jump in. All the love. Thank you so much for joining us today. And as always, guys, from us to you, till next time, as always, game hard or die trying. Good night, guys.